What's up, everybody? This is Jessy from Clever Programmer, and we are going to be building today the Coinbase app with React Native. Alright, so let me show you what we're going to be building. It's this app. And Tanner, tell me a little bit about what this app contains with technologies.
Yeah, so first off, everybody, I know that I'm new, so I just joined Clever Programmer. My name's Tanner. Today we're going to be bringing you this Coinbase clone. So as you guys can see, we're on the splash page. You can either sign in or sign up. So Jessy, if you go ahead and hit the sign up button, we can walk these people through our app here.
I'm going to sign in. Sign in. Ooh. And then which email? Should I use my own email?
Yeah. So you should be able to use the email that you signed up with earlier. And we're going to be using Firebase Authentication, guys. So this is going to be able to connect with Firebase, get us logged in, and we're going to be using Redux to be able to keep our users logged into the app. And as you guys will see later, once we kind of refresh the app, it's going to keep us logged in, and we're going to go right back into the homepage here. So as you just pulled up, we're in the homepage. It shows all of our wish list for the cryptos that we want to see. It shows the latest news about all the latest crypto, and it even has like a learning section too. So Jessy, if you want to click into Bitcoin real quick up in the wish list.
Oh, this looks so amazing, doesn't it, guys? Put in the comment below if you think this app looks amazing. Okay, so let's look here. I'm gonna press the watch list, the Bitcoin. Hey, let's go. Oh my god, this is amazing. So is this graph like real time?
Have a chart here. Sorry,
is this like real time, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna have live data feeded through into this chart. We're gonna have all of the information about the different Bitcoins that we can click into. So right now we have Bitcoin and we have another one, and we can add as many as we want to the app as well. So you guys are gonna see where we get the data, how we pass it through, how we use Redux to keep our users logged in. We're gonna be using styled components to make everything look the way that it does, make it look nice. So yeah, I think that's about it, right? So we can go ahead and start jumping into this build.
Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. So, Tanner, if I want to start off making a React Native app, what is something I start off with?
Right. So, guys, first thing that we're going to need to do to start with React Native is we're going to have to install the Expo Cli. So, when it comes to React Native, we have two options. We have our default React Native, but what we're going to use today is Expo because it allows us to build one code base that's going to convert to both iOS and Android. So it makes it really, really easy.
Okay, so what is the command that I need to use? npm?
Yeah, so go ahead and say npm install expo-cli.
Oh, I might have to do a sudo, to be honest. So sudo npm install, and then?
Expo-cli.
Expo.
So guys, this is going to give us access to the Expo command, which is going to basically allow us to create the entire project, much like using create React app, right? And if you guys know anything about React, this is going to be very, very similar. So if you've watched the other builds, React Native is almost the same as using React, but you guys are going to see kind of how we replace certain components to make it so that it actually converts to what we want it to be on the actual mobile app. Okay. Cool. So after we go ahead and let the Expo CLI install, the next thing that we're going to have to do is say Expo init. And again, that's going to be the same thing as using create React app.
So,
and that's going to basically set up everything for us.
Yeah, in order to do an Expo init, would I need to make a empty repository in my on my desktop, for example, or let me see. Okay, I could do it here.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and create a project folder.
Right. Folder, and then you guys could call it Coinbase React Native YouTube. Okay. And that one, guys, that one, you're going to be opening that one up in the Visual Studio Code. That's what we're going to be using. Okay, so new window. Here. Okay, so new window. And I'm going to open that one up here. And it's the Coinbase, this one. Or yeah, we could open this one up here. And actually, we need to wait for this to happen. So, oh, let's go.
So I think
it is
your
done.
Expo CLI got installed.
Yes. So what I gotta
Awesome.
do now is going to into that empty project here.
So we're gonna say
Oh,
Expo init, and then you can say dot, and this is gonna create the project right there in that current directory that you're in.
Right.
So as soon as you guys create an empty project directory, just say Expo init and then dot, and that's gonna say create our app in our current directory.
Right. So I'm gonna go into that one, YouTube. Okay. And then here, I hope you guys can see it. I'm gonna do Expo init, and that's gonna create the Expo project. Oh, I have to do Expo init period. I think Expo init dot. Okay. Yes.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. And then I'm going to be choosing the blank project, right? This one. So guys, you can choose between all of these options here, but choose the blank one, the top one, okay? So enter.
So some of those options will require you to know TypeScript. Some of them do give you like a navigation bar and some other templated stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the one that we want to start with today is going to be the blank one. And so we're going to have a very minimal setup. So again, if you've watched a lot of the other React clones, typically we have to kind of clean up whatever create React app gives us. So there's a bunch of test files, a bunch of stuff that we don't really ever need to use. And we usually just go ahead and delete those. With the React Native app that we just built out, we don't really have to do anything. We just need to go ahead and get started. So once that builds out, Jessy will be able to show us how we can actually launch that into a simulator live on our computer and kind of test out the app itself.
Oh, I love the simulator. I mean, it's so cool. You know, you see that mobile and then you can see how things work. We're going to be showing you guys that in a moment, okay? Oh, let's go. It is done. So as you can see, it says here, right, to run your project, run one of the following npm commands. So we're going to be doing npm run iOS. But before we do that, let's look into the code that you got when you have installed everything, okay? When you were finished with that installment. And that's this. That's this, guys. So here, view text status bar. Now I'm going to be opening up that project again. Sorry about that. This one, okay? And here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you guys. npm run iOS, just like I said before.
So guys, to be able to use these emulators, if you're on Windows, you'll have to install Android Studio, or whenever she launches this, you can see that that QR code right there. You can scan that on your phone with the Expo app that you can install on your phone, and pretty much just test out the live app on your actual physical phone. Beyond that, you can install Android Studio. But there's quite a hefty install with that to kind of get the Android emulator. And then otherwise, if you're on Mac, you can use Xcode and just easily use the iOS emulator as well.
Yeah,
so
no,
the two routes are going to be iOS or your actual phone.
No, I'm just thinking about the joke you said the other day. You know, when people use Android Studio, their laptop heats up. And it heats up so much that, you know, people could bake an egg on it, you know? So I think it's really funny. So, guys, now that that's done, it should... Where's my emulator? It should start the emulator. Oh, wait. So here, guys, on this icon, press it and boom. There it is. We have the emulator. So let's put that here next to the code, okay, in this screen. So let me bloop, bloop. And then we can see how this shows when we are building things. Okay, so there we go. And oh, look, Tanner already changed the text and now it's visible here on the left side. Awesome. So what's the first thing?
Just like our React servers, guys, every time we make a change, we can see it live on the app.
That's sick.
Again, if you open this on your physical device, you'll see it pop up on your actual phone, the live action that you make. It's really, really cool.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So Tanner, what is the first thing that we're going to be building out? Where are we going to start?
So the first thing that we need to do is go ahead and build out the splash screen, which is going to take us right into the login screen. So let's see here. So first thing we want to do, we can go ahead and just replace this view right here. We're going to replace it with our welcome component We don't have the welcome component yet, guys, so we're gonna have to go ahead and build that out.
Oh.
So if we go ahead and try to save it, we're gonna get a bunch of errors, and React Native is not shy to give you a lot of errors. So don't worry about it. Don't get afraid of errors. You're gonna see it all the time in React Native.
So we're gonna make a folder, I think, called screens, and then with a file called index. Is that correct?
Exactly. So, right, that's the first thing we need to do. So we have our welcome component here, and then we have our welcome component being brought in. As you guys can see, we're going to bring it in from a screens folder. So let's go ahead and start building out this directory that we're going to use. So first thing we're going to need is a screens directory, and the next thing is going to be pretty familiar to you guys. We're going to need a components directory. And then we can go ahead and just already add the resources directory as well. So in React Native, it's pretty standard that we're going to have actual screens and then components aside from that, right? So we're going to bring in the little extra components into our screens. Now in React Native, we have to build out a navigator, and it's basically going to be a stack of these screens. So that's why we have to build it out the way that we do. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead into our screens folder here. Let's go ahead and create an index file.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay, cool. All right. And in our index file, we're going to need to basically just export the welcome screen that we're going to use. So we're going to say export everything from welcome index, right? So we're going to have another folder inside of here. Inside of our screens, we're going to have another folder, and this is going to be our welcome folder. And then in that folder, we're going to put another index file. So you guys can probably tell already, we're going to actually separate all of our screens into their own separate folders. Eventually, we'll have a home folder, a login folder, everything that we need in this screens folder right here. And our initial index file inside of our screens is where we're going to export each one of those screens themselves. All right, so let's head back into the welcome index file. And guys, just like in React, we can use very little shorthands. So we can say rnf, and this is going to create a React Native function-based component. So if I hit enter on that, boom, it fills it out for us. We're saying export default function. And the first thing that you guys should notice is that we're not using divs, and we have to use a text box to actually get text to our screen. The reason being, again, in React Native, it's trying to basically build out all of these components to work for both iOS and Android. So we have to be very specific and use specific types of components that are pretty much provided for us that kind of allow us to build up these things. If we use a regular div like we would in React, it's just not going to work for us. Okay, guys, so just to make sure that this works, we can go ahead and just say Coinbase in here and save that. So if we, I think you might have to refresh the simulator.
So how do I do that? How would I refresh it? Oh.
One thing you could do is just go ahead and close it off in the terminal, and then just rerun it with npm run iOS and then put -c so that we're clearing the cache when we run it.
Right. So npm run iOS -c like this?
Yeah.
Is that usually what needs to be done in React Native, or?
So a lot of the times, and right now it's really not that important of a step, but once we start using Redux to have that logged in state, we're gonna have to pretty much always clear the cache to clear their logged in state until we at least put in like a log out button or something, right?
Right. So I refreshed it, everything works again?
Looks like we're still getting an error, so let's look back into our app here. All right, so we have welcome from screens index, so let's look in here. We have
I think
welcome
here
from index.
maybe you need a folder welcome? Is that it?
It's because right here I forgot to name this the right way. So I think we need to name this welcome. And in just a minute, guys, we're gonna have to take in some props because we're gonna have to build out the navigator. But for now, let's just try to make sure that this welcome screen works.
Are you, by the way, I don't see you typing, Tanner. Are you in my screen? Are we on a live share?
Yeah, it should be. It should be in the screen's welcome index.
Right.
There it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so all I did, guys, was change the name of the function. Instead of export default function index, we changed it to welcome. And at this point, if we refresh our simulator, then we should get an update.
So like this. So I also changed here in app.js. We first had only screens, but now I changed it to, okay, I'm gonna put on simulator again. Here I put welcome here because of the folder here. Okay, so this should work now.
Yeah, so screens, welcome, index. Yeah, that should be working. Here, try closing out the emulator before you restart it.
Okay, so I'm closing it out and I'm restarting it here.
And if you're on your physical device, there's actually going to be a notification on your phone where it has a refresh button, and that'll actually reset that for you.
Okay, so it's starting it up here. It says starting Metro Bundler. Okay.
Okay.
And now it should get opening. Okay, open up the iPhone. There's where you can see it, and we closed it just now. So let's bring it here next to our code. It's opening up now, Expo. All right. It says still component exception. Component exception. By the way, it also says log 2 3 component exception element type is invalid. Expected a string. So
in which page?
In page render application.js in line 54. So what is this? Log 1. Warning, React create element type is invalid, expecting a string. Do we...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I know what's happening.
Okay. What do you think is happening?
So first, okay, actually that looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just delete this. And okay. Nope. Okay guys, so let's try something really quick.
So if you're debugging like this, Tanner, what's the first step you're going to be looking at?
The first thing that I'm going to try to do is just put everything into a view, kind of just like in regular React when we try to make sure that everything's like in a fragment or something.
So
but that didn't seem to help. So yeah, I can't see the error message too clearly. What does it say?
So it says component exception, element type is invalid, expecting a string for building components or a class/function for composite components, but got undefined. You likely forget to export your component from the file it is defined in, and or you might have mixed up default and named imports. So this welcome here, something is not going correct with the export, maybe. So here, index, export default function. Should it be something with this?
I think I know what it is.
Okay, great.
All right, guys. So in our welcome folder, let's go ahead and create a new folder. A new file. We're gonna say welcome.js. All right. So this is where I'm gonna want to put my actual component. So let's move that into our welcome.js file.
Okay, I'm gonna open that one up here. Yeah.
All right, and then in the index file, we actually want to say import welcome from, let's see, I might have actually forgotten a step. So let's create a pages folder inside of welcome and move our welcome.js into the pages.
Okay, welcome.js, we're gonna move that to the folder pages. And then I'm gonna open it up here.
Yeah. So as you guys can see, we have kind of like layers of index files as we kind of go further into the screens. So we have a folder for our welcome. In that folder, we have pages. So we're having pages inside of each screen. So it's, you know, layers upon layers. That's how we create our apps. So let's hop back into the index.js within the welcome folder, Jesse.
Excuse me? What did you say?
Index.js inside of pages.
Okay.
So welcome pages index.js. And we're going to say import welcome from pages/welcome. All right, so we're going to look into this folder, grab our pages component, import it into here so that our overall index right here is going to grab it from this index. So basically, we're kind of passing it up through all of the layers of folders, and this overall index right here, this one's sitting inside of this. So basically what that's going to do is grab all of the different pages that we create, right? So we're going to have our, our home page, our welcome page, our login page. All of these are going to be exported from this overall index page sitting inside of the screens folder. So at this point, if we save everything, could be able to refresh our app and get the results that we want.
So I have to do this, right? By the way, I could also open up the terminal here in Visual Studio Code, right? So, yeah. So starting Metro Bundler, pressing this one again here, okay. So now everything got refreshed. Here, this one's like this, so that's good. Now it says import welcome from. So now it's complaining about this import here.
Okay. So what does it say?
It says none of these files exist. Screen/welcome/pages.
So we're sitting inside of welcome. We should be able to look into pages and find welcome. All right, guys. So again, right, when we're working on React Native, we're going to see a lot of errors. So it's pretty much just kind of reading through the message that it gives us and trying to figure out what exactly might be going wrong. And we have kind of already, a huge kind of, we're going into folder upon folder upon folder. So we got to make sure that everything's pointing correctly. So let's hop back into welcome.js. Jesse.
Yeah, in pages, okay.
All right. So let's just make sure that this looks clean. I think it looks clean. We have a proper component here. We're saying export default function, capitalized welcome. So let's hop back up to the next index file.
Okay, this one. And how come maybe I missed this, but how come we have two index files?
Yeah, so pretty much, we're kind of going up this ladder right now. So we started with welcome.js, then we're going into this next index. And then the next step would be kind of going up one level to that other index.
Okay.
And so pretty much what's happening is, we're creating all of these very separate pages within these very separate screens. And so we're having to pass it up through the folders to get to this overall index file that's going to export all of the screens.
Okay, great.
Okay. So I did realize, though, inside of this secondary index, I think the one that we're in right now, we need to export. Guys, there's no point in really creating our components if we're not exporting them.
So we're going to be exporting.
Yep. Okay. Trial and error, trial and error. So now we should be able to refresh the app, and hopefully this time it'll work.
Okay. So let's see. npm run iOS -c. Okay, it's starting up. This looks good. Starting Metro Bundler. Okay, we can click on here. This one is
so
good.
I would try closing out the iPhone again and then reopening it.
Oh, this one. Click and then open it again. Open it again. Does it only open when you restart it like this? I guess so, because I just closed it, but we have to open it up again.
Yeah, so once you close the simulator, you'll have to rerun.
Right, okay. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, there we go. Opening up Expo. This is the address of the Expo, okay, guys? And this is an iPhone 8 model. You can also use iPhone 12 or all kinds of models, okay? So, let's go. It's opening up the project. And that's it. So what does this actually mean? Because what confuses me is like we're importing welcome, but now we're exporting it. So what does that mean, Tanner?
Yeah, so pretty much that index page that you're in right now is really just kind of like a middleman to actually pass it up to the next index page. So what we want to do is just have a general overall index page, and we'll see it come together in just a minute.
Okay.
But this general overall index page is going to allow us to basically say, hey, grab whatever from pages, so that we don't have to keep diving into folders and saying, all right, grab it from pages, welcome.
Right. So this is like a general layer inside of the app, basically. Inside of our app, like we're using that second index the JS file like a general layer. Okay, now I think there are no errors now, so let's continue.
Yeah, so we're good, and you should, I can't see it too well, but you should be able to see Coinbase sitting up in the actual notification bar up there.
And the notification, yeah, it's actually here on the left. It is actually mixed up with the Wi-Fi signal. It's not big indeed, but unfortunately, guys, I cannot zoom in on this iPhone here. So let's continue, okay? We got it here, the Coinbase.
Awesome. So let's head back to app.js.
App.js.
And actually, no, sorry. We're going to go back into welcome.js.
Yeah. So this text
So there's
here.
a couple things we need to do inside of this file here. So this is going to be our splash screen. So to get that text outside of that status bar, we need to use what is called safe area. Now this is one of the examples of a component that only applies to iOS. And this is something that you kind of see a lot in React Native, where certain types of components either act differently or only apply to one of the two OSs. Now, as you guys see, we have an error because I did not import it. So let's try, we're gonna have to up here where we say view and text from React Native, we're gonna also say safe area view. So this one only applies to iOS, but as you guys see, the Coinbase text is now no longer overlaying with that status area.
Ooh, why is that? Oh, that is what it's meant for. Oh, this is real. Oh, that's sick. That's dope.
So this safe area basically wraps your code and says, don't touch, this top area, this status bar area. And if you're on an iPhone 12, you have that notch, right? So we don't want to go past that notch. So that's what safe area allows us to do, is kind of stay within a safe area. Now again, that one's only for iOS. There are some things that only work on Android, only work on iOS, or are done completely differently. If we wanted to add a box shadow to something, in Android we would say elevate. In iOS we would say, shadow this, shadow that. You have to do 4 different things to actually get it to work. So there's a lot of differences here and there.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay.
All right. So the next thing, we want to do here in the welcome screen before we move on is first we want to bring in some props, and we're not going to see this come into play quite yet. But once we build out our navigator, we're going to have an automatic prop applied to any screen we include on our navigation stack. So we're going to take in some props, and we're going to first unpack our navigation. We're going to use some destructuring here, unpack navigation from props, and this is going to be automatic, guys. We're never going to see us manually pass this into welcome. It happens behind the scenes by our root navigation tool. So we'll see that in a moment. Next thing is we're going to create a custom hook, and this is going to be for setting buttons visible or not. So as you guys can tell, when we load up an app we have a splash screen, it takes a few seconds, and then our login screen appears. So that's kind of the effect that we want to get here. So we're going to say visible, set visible. So this is going to be our custom hook. And we're going to say use state. So let's import that. That's nothing. Okay. So we'll comma it in up here.
Yeah.
So where we say import React from React.
Use state?
No, no. Yeah,
yeah,
use state. And we're also going to need use effect. Okay, there we go. So we're going to say use state, and we're going to say false, because we don't want it to show up originally, but after a certain amount of time is when we're going to set it visible. So the next thing we want to do, yeah.
Tanner, by the way, can you speak up a little bit, like in your volume with your mic? Is that possible? Or maybe talk closer to the mic?
Yeah, is that better?
I guess so, yeah. I hope so, yeah.
Here, I'll pick up the gain just a little bit. How's that?
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
Awesome, cool. So, next thing we want to do is add this use effect. So let's clean this up a bit. We don't need everything in here. We don't need a variable that's going to change our use effect. We also don't need a return, and we're going to change the effect as well. So let's get rid of that. All right, so what we're going to do in the use effect is we're going to set a timeout. And in this timeout, we're going to have our callback function that we're going to build out inside of it. And once our time is up, we're going to set visible to true.
So what is this timeout used for? Like, what are we trying to set visible or not?
Yeah, so we won't see it right now, but in just a moment, we're actually going to add some buttons down here, and they're going to be in an area where we're basically going to say, you know, if visible, right? So we're going to have this kind of
conditional rendering. Yeah.
And then we're going to, you know, have some buttons. And this is going to allow us to log in, sign up, whatever we want to do.
Right.
So the initial kind of effect that we want is to say, okay, we have our splash screen with no buttons. You know, it takes a couple seconds. We're loading in the app, and then we show the button.
Right. So it takes about 2 seconds because that's what it happens here, right? You give it 2,000. So, awesome.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. And then I just added this text right here to say clone. Now, guys, we have to make sure we have these text boxes. If we just say, you know, like we would sometimes, I mean, it's not good practice, but, you know, in basic web development or using React, we could just say clone or whatever we wanted to say as text. It's going to throw all kinds of errors if we do it that way in React Native. Let me go back. There we go. Cool. All right, so this is going to be our splash screen. Next thing that we want to do, Jesse, is we want to style it out.
Ooh.
So we're going to head back into the resources folder, and we're going to start creating some styles.
Resources.
So let's see. Actually, if you want to go ahead and kill the server real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, and guys, when we're in React Native, we actually have to kill the server every time we want to install something new. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm working in React, I never really kill the server. I just npm install whatever I want to install. In React Native, it almost never works. You usually have to kill the server first. So Jesse, if you want to go ahead and say npm install, we want to install React Native responsive fonts.
Ooh, so wait. So I'm gonna go to. Ooh. So I'm gonna go to our project. And excuse me, what did you say? npm what?
Yeah, so say npm I.
npm I.
And it's gonna be React dash.
React dash. Oh, sorry.
Dash.
Excuse me, React dash.
React dash native dash.
Native dash.
Responsive dash font size, all one word.
Ooh, font size. Like this?
Yes.
Great. And that's it. I gotta execute this now.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead. We're gonna install it. And guys, what this package does, React Native responsive font size, is it gives us two main functions that we can use. The one that we're gonna use will allow us to calculate a font size based off of basically the screen height, right? So obviously everyone has a different type of phone. We have 80,000 screen sizes when it comes to phones. So to basically say that we only want one font size would be kind of an error in the developer's part, right? So this package basically allows us to calculate that font size based off of screen height. So right now we can barely see the text that's on that phone, but once we install this, it's going to be a little bit easier to read.
Are you sure this is the package? Because I got an error. It wasn't the right package. I couldn't find that package.
I put it in your chat as well if you want to copy it from there. In the Skype chat.
In the Skype chat. Wait, I can't open that one now. Let me see. Okay, here. I think it's here. Here. I think. Oh yeah, it needed another dash at the end before font size actually. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
that's okay. So guys, so it's so you don't have to do sudo. I don't think that was a previous thing I had before, but npmi react dash native dash responsive dash font size. Okay, now this looks better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while we let that install, if you want to head back over to our resources folder, I just added a file. So we're going to have a file in there called colors.js.
Great.
Now, this is another pretty standard thing for React Native. You're typically going to have a separate file somewhere that's going to store all of your app's colors that you can use across the entire app. So guys, we're going to say export default, and we're going to just say colors. Now, typically when we see export default, it's usually like a function-based component or something. For us,
oh look,
it's just going to be an object.
I found out how to make this bigger. Woo! Let's go. Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay.
There we go.
Hey. Alrighty.
Awesome. Cool.
Nice colors.
All right. So the first one we want is going to be white. It's pretty standard. So we can just say FFFFFF. All right. Next thing, guys, we're going to say primary blue. This is going to be our Coinbase blue.
Ooh, that royal blue. Yeah.
We're going to say 0052 FE.
Awesome.
Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. So this is the colors that we have so far. We'll add a little bit later. Let's hop back into our our welcome.js page.
Ooh, this one here.
Yes. And actually, right click. Well, actually, I'll do it. We're going to add a style.js file to our welcome folder. So not the pages, but the welcome. So we're going to say style.js. If you can click into that.
Yep. Here.
Yes. All right, guys. So in this one, we're going to start using style sheet. So we're going to start creating our styled components.
Ooh.
We're going to say import style sheet from React Native. And this allows us to kind of just build JavaScript objects that will apply our, more or less CSS to our components. And this is another really standard thing for React Native because you're not going to use CSS pages. The next thing we want is ref value, and this is the function that we're going to use from that React Native responsive font size, right? So that thing that we just installed, we're going to use ref value. Now this is the one that will calculate based off of screen height. I think there's another function in this package, but I don't remember its name. So, all right. So then we're going to say import colors from wherever we just created colors. So we're going to go all the way back up and go ahead and grab that resources folder and then grab colors. There we go. Cool. Next thing that we want to do is go ahead and say export default style sheet. Now guys, you've seen this at the bottom of React clones we're going to do it in its own file, and then just bring this file into our welcome page to import all of these styles. Okay, so let's first create our container. There we go. All right, so we're going to say flex equals 1, and this is pretty much just going to say that our splash page is going to take up the entire page. And we're going to set that background color to colors. So we're going to look into that object we just imported and go find primary blue.
Oh, so this is also super handy, actually, basically to have a template of colors for your whole app. So this is also is this also something you
gonna be able to,
is this also something you use, for example, if you want to have a light and dark theme in your app?
Yes.
Sick. Yeah,
yes,
I love
exactly.
that. I love that. Let's go. Come on. Yes.
So yeah, typically, guys, sometimes we'll have this colors folder, and it's actually going to have some stuff at the top that's going to, it's going to use some React Native features that will determine if your app or your phone is in dark mode, and it'll change all of the colors. So it's really, really cool. So then we're going to have our main view. We're going to say flex 1 again. We're going to say align items. We're going to say center. And then justify content center.
Oh.
This is going to be pretty standard for any splash screen, right? We just want the logo or the text to be dead center of the page with whatever kind of themed color background that we have. So then we want to create our text style as well. And we're going to say color. And guys, this is pretty much, these are pretty much CSS objects, but in a JavaScript type format, which allows us to style everything in React Native, right? Because we can't really use CSS pages in here.
By the way, Tanner, it seems like your sound is getting softer or somehow.
Oh.
Maybe.
Sorry, guys. Is that better?
No, it has to be a little bit louder, I think, to be honest.
Okay, a little bit louder.
Or maybe, can you come closer to the mic? Is that possible? Because I'm really loud, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I just turned up the gain a little bit. Is that better?
It's still a little bit soft. I don't know how to fix it. Maybe talk a little bit louder. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just have to talk a little bit louder.
Okay.
Is that better?
Let's just keep going, okay?
Alright guys, so now we've created our text style as well. We're going to say colors and set that one to white. We're going to make it bold, and we're going to set the font size to RF value of 35. So again, this is that function that's basically going to calculate our font based off of screen size. So, alright, let's save that file. Let's head back into the welcome.js file. Jesse?
Sorry, yeah. This file, which file?
Welcome.js.
Welcome.js, yes.
Oh. Alright, and then we're going to start styling, or we're going to start adding the style. So first thing that we need to do is go ahead and import it up here at the top. We're going to say import style from, and we're going to go up one folder and import our style. There we go. Alright, so our safe view, we're going to make this our container. So we're going to say style equals style.container. Alright, because again, guys, this is an object, right? This entire thing is just an object, and we're accessing all of the objects within our object. So it's just objects. So we're going to say style and look into the style object and grab our container object. Alright, and then our view, this one's going to be style equals style.mainView.
All right. Wow, this is cool. This makes sense, though. It's so clean, too, you know?
Oh, yeah. And then we're going to...
Oh, what's that?
What the heck? I don't know what just happened. And then we're going to assign this style equals style text style to both of our text pieces. There we go.
Whoa.
And that's about it. So I don't think the app is running right now if you want to rerun it.
Yes, let's do it. I'm so curious on how it looks now already. So, whoop. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna stop the server. Okay. And I'm gonna refresh the page. Okay, Okay, so yes. Awesome. So I'm gonna open up the emulator again. It's starting up right now. And oh, I think we have a primary background color. I'm gonna make this bigger again, guys, and it's blue and everything is centered. How cool looks this, guys? Oh my god, so clean, dude.
So this is our splash screen, guys. Next thing that we want to do is create those buttons that are going to show up after, you know, a couple seconds. So we're going to have this initial splash screen. It's going to wait a little bit. We're going to be loading up the app, and then we're going to have some buttons kind of just come in at the bottom, which are going to allow us to access the login and sign up pages. So we're going to have to create some button components, and I want to explain in just a little bit why we're going to do it the way that we're doing it. So first thing we want to do is go into our components folder. We're going to create a new folder, and this one's going to be button, right? And then inside of button, we're going to create button.js. So new file, button.js.
Yes.
All right, guys. So once again, we can say RNF React Native functional component.
Wow. Yeah.
There we go. Pretty clean there.
I love that code
So we're going to
snippet
take in
thing.
some props. And these props are going to allow us to kind of have different buttons across our entire page. Now, the reason that we're creating a custom button component, the way that we're doing it, rather than just, you know, importing button from React Native, is because if you use button from React Native, it's going to be very, very plain and very, very default and only controlled by Android or iOS. We have no control over the way that they look when we do it that way. So we're creating custom button components. So the way that we're going to do it is a component called Touchable Opacity, right? Now this is going to be a type of object or a type of element that React Native supplies to us that allows us to have full control over the way that it looks, the way that it appears, but it's also going to have touchable feedback, right? So when we click on it, it's going to have automatic opacity applied. And as you guys will see in just a second, I can actually just tell it how active we want it to be, right? So we say active opacity equals, we're going to pass in 0.5. So it's going to go halfway opaque. What is that word? Right?
Yeah.
So
no, I think that's correct.
It's going to be 0.5 opacity, period. There we go. So right when we click on it, it's going to get a little bit of opacity, and we're going to be able to style this out however we want. So we're going to have different buttons across this entire app. We have blue buttons, white buttons, all these different buttons. We don't want the default, you know, Android material UI, whatever, and we don't want the default iOS, because then we have no control over the way that they look. So we're creating our own button components. So up here, we're going to say const, and we're going to destructure our props. So we're going to have our text, because again, right, we want to be able to use this button everywhere we want. Oh my god, my screen just locked. There we go.
Okay.
Jesse, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you clear.
Screen locked.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're going to need text because we're going to use this button everywhere. It's going to be a reusable button component. So we're going to have a text. We're going to have an icon. We're going to have disabled. And I think that's it for now. We might have to add to that later. But we're going to destructure this from our props. All right. Next, let's get rid of this text. What we're going to do is say, if we have text, might not have text, so if we have text, then we're going to pass in the text into a text field. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and load up the text in here. And I'm just going to copy this line because what we're going to do is actually just something very similar. We're going to say if we have an icon, then pass in icon. Well, actually, we don't want this to be text, right? So we're going to say image. Now we're gonna have to import this, and this comes from React Native as well. But this is basically going to be like our, standard image tag. It's just a little bit different in React Native. So we're going to come up here to the top and say, where we say view and image, we're going to also say, when we said view and text, we're going to also say image. And I don't think we imported touchable opacity, so we need to do that as well. We can get rid of view because we're not using it here. All right, so I overwrote view with touchable opacity. We also have text, and we also have image. Now we're going to say the source of our image is going to be the icon. Next, we're going to say resize mode, and this is basically, like background size or whatever. We're going to say resize mode is going to be contained. Okay, we don't want it to like expand past our button or anything like that. So I think that looks pretty good for now. And the next thing that we want to do is going to be very similar to when we created our splash page. We're going to have to basically import and export this in a separate index file, right? So in our button folder.
Yes, in the button folder. Here.
In our button folder, yeah, we're going to say index.js. And there we go. We're going to go ahead and import the button and immediately export the button.
Oh, again, in that layer.
Yep. So the same way that we're doing our screens, guys, is the same way that we're going to do our components, where pretty much, when you look at, the standard kind of imports, when we say import yada yada from React, and we use this kind of destructuring or whatever we want to call this, sorry, I actually moved to the welcome.js page. That's my bad. But yeah, when we typically import stuff from React or React Native, and we're saying use effect or view text safe area, right? We're only really saying one thing. We're importing it from one place. So this is the way that it works, right? We have one index file that's basically importing everything that we want to use and then exporting it back out so that we don't have to keep saying, okay, go into this folder, go into this folder, go into this folder. We're just gonna have it in one place and destructure it from there.
Cool, yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, by the way,
So
is your mic close by or not?
Yeah, it should be. It's like right here.
Okay, this is better if you're close. But it's still quite soft though, so try to speak up. And I might be really loud, so yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna keep adjusting the gain there. Okay, cool. So let's head back to the index.js in our button folder. And this is gonna be where we import button from the button.js.
So we're gonna go into the index.js. Yeah, we're gonna be here. Yes.
Yep. Perfect. So we're gonna say import button from the immediate file button. Okay, and then we're just gonna immediately export it. So we're gonna say export button as default. There we go. Okay. Next thing that we want to do is also create a style.js file in that same folder. So inside of the button folder, we're going to say style.js, and we'll come back to this in just a little bit. But for now, we're going to say the same thing that we said in the last one. Import button from button, and then export button as well.
Wait, in which file are you now? You're in the welcome.
I am in style.js inside of the button folder. Yeah, there we go. So this is going to look the exact same as our previous aforementioned index. Yes, there we go. Okay, so we're going to say button as default. There we go. Okay, this is in components.
Ah, you're in components.
In the components
okay.
folder, yeah.
Yeah.
So inside of button, we also have style.js, and that's what I just created.
Wait. Button.js. Sorry, I'm confused. So button.js and the style.js?
Yeah, style.js.
So you're
that's
here?
the one that I just created. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh, what just happened? There we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's right now, for now, we're just going to have it the same as our index.js file. And then we're going to come back and add the styles in just a bit. So the next thing that we want to do is inside of the components folder, we're going to create another index.js. And this is where we're going to pretty much officially export our button, right? So same way that we did our screens, we're passing it up in layers. All right, so you should see now a index file immediately inside of the components folder there, Jessy.
In the folder, like here.
Yeah, so index, the bottom one.
The bottom one here, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. So in this one, we're gonna say import button. Baton, there we go.
Baton, that sounds very familiar.
Baton.
Baton.
There we go. All right, and then we're just gonna export button, right? All right, so guys, this is pretty much what I was talking about. You know, just the same as when we import stuff from React Native. When we import stuff from React, this is, you know, typically we're just gonna see a destructured version of it up top where it's gonna say, you know, let's import useState and useEffect from React. Well, this is basically how that backend looks. We're basically just saying, bring everything into an overall index file, even though we have folders upon files, all of this stuff. We're just gonna have it all exported from one file. Let's save that one. And let's save the other index. Okay, cool. I think all of my stuff is saved now. Now, at this point, we can go back into welcome.js and add the buttons.
Oh, so we're gonna go here.
Yep.
And then.
So this is where we're gonna say if we have a visible section.
Yes.
Visible.
So.
And let's create a view first, right? Because if you guys are familiar with React, you know that we can't have multiple items just sporadically anywhere without like a fragment at least. So the next best thing that we have in React Native is just this view. So we still have to render it. So we're gonna say button. So we're gonna have to import this from the top. So we're gonna say import button. And as you guys can see, we're just destructuring it. And we're gonna go look inside of, oops. We're gonna go look inside of components. And that way we don't have to do anything like components, button, all that stuff, right? We just say components. Oops. Components, there we go. Oh wait, I need to wrap that in a string. There we go. All right, so now we have our button. So now let's come down here and pass in some text to our buttons. Because remember guys, we needed all of those props. So this first one is gonna say get started.
Oh yeah.
And disabled is false. Disabled, false. There we go. All right, and then copy paste it. We're gonna have another button. This one's gonna say sign in. Okay, and this one's also gonna be disabled, false. And we'll be back because we're gonna add some on press. So in React Native, we can't really create like A tags or links or anything like that. We create buttons and then we say on press, you know, do some sort of navigation thing. So as you guys see up here, we have a navigation prop, and that's going to be automatically created by the navigation component that we create in just a moment. So, and the navigation component can kind of be thought of as like a React router, basically. Okay, so next thing that we want to do is go ahead and start creating this navigation component. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that on press that I just made because we don't need it right now, but we'll be back. So now let's go back into app.js, Jessy.
Yeah. And by the way, you do have an error. Is that something we should be looking for right now? Because it's looking for the files, I believe.
What does it say?
The import of the button at line 4 at welcome.js here.
Button from, okay, so boom, boom. Maybe I forgot an extra.
Ooh, refreshing. Yes. Oh, nice. Look,
There we go.
got
Okay.
the get started and the sign in. Okay, cool.
There we go.
There we
Perfect.
go. App.js.
Yeah, so if you guys missed that, I forgot to go up one more folder to import the button. And then Jessy, you should be able to actually click on those, and we should see some sort of opacity
Oh,
on those buttons.
on those buttons. Okay, I'm gonna click on it. You see
There
that?
we go.
It's very, very slightly, guys. I hope you guys can see it. But when you press on it, it becomes a little bit lighter. And that is that opacity that we stated here. I think in colors, right? Or in styles. Here, in style.
In
Button here.
button.js.
That
there
is
we go.
this
That
part,
touchable
guys.
opacity.
Yes. Awesome. Cool. Let's go.
We can kind of see it all come together. And that's going to basically allow us to have automatic visual feedback from whatever element we say, touchable opacity.
Cool, cool. Let's go, let's go. So what else? What's next?
So let's hop back into app.js, and we're going to remove this welcome screen. And what we're going to do now is actually just create our root navigation. So, because if we just leave that welcome screen right here on the app.js, we're just going to be stuck on the splash screen forever, right? So what we want to do, and we're going to break it for now because we don't have this yet, but we're going to create our navigation component, and this is going to allow us to jump from screen to screen, right? So here's our component. We need to also import it. So up here at the top, we can get rid of the import welcome. We're actually just now going to say import root navigation, and we're going to get that from a navigation folder, which we have not created yet. Navigation. There we go. And we're going to call it root navigation. There we go, guys. So now let's go back over here to our folder structure. We're going to create a new folder at the base of our app, and this one's going to be called navigation. Okay. And then inside of that, we're going to create the root navigation component. So we'll say new file, root navigation.js. Now this is probably the most important part of your React Native app, because this is how you're actually going to get from screen to screen. Without this, you will never go anywhere. You'll be stuck on one page for eternity. So let's go ahead and again say rnf, go ahead and create our function-based component. And we need a couple things. So first thing that we want to do is actually, you want to kill the server, Jessy.
Ooh, kill the server.
We're going to go ahead and install some stuff.
Okay, we're gonna go install some. I'm gonna make my screen a little bit bigger. I'm gonna zoom in, okay, whoop. Like this. This is my terminal, guys. Ooh, this is too big. Actually, I gotta make it smaller, a little bit smaller, okay? Like this. I have to, oh, it was very wide. Okay, whoop, like that. Okay, whoa, how wide was it? Alrighty, like this, I zoomed in.
I just sent you the command that we want to use.
Okay, so
guys, we're going to say npm I, and we're going to install two things right now. So we need React Navigation Native and React Navigation Stack. So once she pastes it in, we'll see what that looks like.
oh, like this. I pasted it in. Oh, strange. Okay, sorry about that. Aha, like this. Okay, moment, guys. Here it is. Boom. npm I
There we go.
at React dash navigation slash stack, and then at dash navigation slash native. Okay, so that's the full command, guys.
So these are, pretty much the go-to for creating your React Native navigation. So once you install these, what they're going to provide for us is the navigation container and then the navigation stack that we're going to be able to actually get around our app with.
Great.
So if we hop back into the root navigation JS file.
Here.
All right. So let's go ahead and import those. What we aren't going to need is the view and the text from React Native, because when we have our root navigation component, we don't really ever put any like real like forward-facing information or anything in there, right? We don't have any view, we don't have any text, so we can go ahead and delete that. So what we do want is to actually create our navigational stuff. So we're going to import navigation container. We're going to get this from at React dash navigation native. Okay, guys, and then just kind of copy paste that real quick, because the next thing that we need is create stack navigation. And again, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but all of the pages that we create, they're basically just a stack of pages on our app. You know, we can swipe through them or whatever, and we could actually physically swipe through them if we had a specific animation, but we don't need that for this app. But the point being is we just have a stack of pages and we need a way to get through them. So we're creating this navigation stack. So let's change this one from native to stack. There we go, guys. All right, and then we have that being exported. That's good. Now, next thing that we want is to create our stack. So we're going to say const stack equals, and we're going to run create stack navigation. All right. Next thing that we want to do is we don't have any of these viewer text anymore. So let's go ahead and say navigation container, and that's what we just imported, and this is going to wrap our stack. So next thing that we're going to do is say stack, that const that we just created, and screen. Now guys, pretty much, oh wait, I forgot one step, so let's delete this really quick. We need first stack dot navigator. There we go. Now this, guys, is pretty much like using React Router, where we have this kind of overall wrapper that's going to hold all of our pages. So in React Router, you would probably have like a route here, right here, right? Well, what we're going to do is say stack dot screen. And these are going to be all of the different screens that we can access. And we're pretty much just going to keep creating these for every new one that we need. Crap. So this is actually a self-closing tag, so I made this wrong. So there we go. All right, so this first one, its name is going to be Splash, and we actually have to give them names to be able to access them. The next thing that we want to do is give it a component. So we're going to say component equals welcome, because that's the only one that we have right now, and that's going to be the one that we use for our splash page. All right, cool, guys. So at this point, and Jesse, I don't think the server is running right now.
Let's see. No, I don't think it's not. No, it's not running. So npm npm run iOS C. Okay. Now it starts up again. It's gonna start up the Metro bundler. This will come up. Okay. Then open up the simulator. It's here on the right. On the left, I mean. Okay, this goes well. It only shows me this.
Let's see. So stack screen. Let's see. And then let's see what's in the app. Okay, so we have our root navigation from navigation, and then export default root navigation screen component. Well, probably because I have not imported the welcome screen.
Aha.
So let's
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's probably important.
Probably a little bit. Yeah.
So let's say import welcome from. Let's go up one page, grab our screens folder, and grab welcome.
Okay, let's see where it is in the panes. Okay, so your welcome is here in these screens. Welcome. Wasn't it here? Welcome. Like these pages.
So that should.
Don't you need slash
welcome.
pages? If you look here at the file structure, no?
Because it should be grabbing from that index page that's sitting inside of the welcome folder.
Yeah, like this.
So let's see. So welcome from the screens, welcome. Yeah, we might just have to reload the app again. Yeah. So try closing out the emulator again. We can try refreshing it.
Closing out the emulator. Starting this one up. Whee! npm run iOS. I'm not sick of it yet, so it's okay. So let's go. Starting Metro Bundler. Then iOS simulator. Oh, there we go. Oh, whoops. Now it's on my other screen. Let's grab it from there. So, whoop. Let's put it next to our code and let's. So that is what happens though. When you close it, you have to like I have to resize it for you guys again and all that. But that's okay. You guys can see it here now. So, guys, by the way, if you are a fan of Tanner's teaching, he is one of the teachers, and that's why he became our newest team member. Okay, he is teaching at our Full Stack Mastery Bootcamp. Okay, our 8-month online program where we teach you how to become a full stack developer. Okay, we're going to be teaching you everything you need to know. Okay, from front end, back end, how to build full stack apps. But also one of the most important parts in our Full Stack Mastery Bootcamp that we focus on are fundamentals. Okay? So because guys, imagine it. If you have to build a house, building and knowing how to build the foundation is the most important. Wouldn't you agree, Tanner?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, honestly, the way I've always kind of seen it, like, with Clever Programmer, you can come on, you can look at the React clones, you can look at, all of that, but you're going to be pretty dependent on watching the clones. And also, you're only going to get the front end. If you want to get these apps to actually work, you'll learn the back end and you'll be able to do it, naturally or on your own. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah. So, a lot of projects, okay, that we make in the bootcamp. It's always a lot of fun. Okay, it's always like whenever we start record, it's like a family. You'll be together, you'll be learning together, you have so much fun, guys. And I don't know, maybe some of you guys have been to the webinar last week. Okay, it was amazing. We bring so much value and all of that. I'm really proud of the program, actually, to be honest. Also, because some of my students actually only being in the bootcamp for 2 months, they already landed a job of $70K annual income. I think that's amazing. I don't know if you think so, but I think that is amazing. Okay, so guys, if you are interested, by the way, in the description below is a link where you can book a strategy session with us. Okay, just to see if you're interested, just to see if you're a fit for our bootcamp. Okay, it's an investment, but I assure you it is worth your time, money, and energy. Okay, that's it. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay, so it is actually loaded up here and it's giving me an error.
Some sort of error. Yeah, what does that say?
It says unable to resolve module React Native gesture handler.
React Native gesture handler.
React Native gesture handler could not be found within the project. Oh, if you are sure the module exists, try these steps. Oh.
Yeah, we might be forgetting something.
Ooh, what are we forgetting?
Alright, so we have our root navigation, and we have React Navigation Stack, we have React Navigation Native, we have Create Stack, we have Navigation Container. Alright.
Where are you now? Which file are you now?
I'm
root navigation.
Studying our root navigation. Huh. Okay, so we have our screens being imported. Okay. Okay, so I don't think we actually need to use it anywhere, but it is something that we do need to install. So when we did React Native, React Navigation Native and React Navigation Stack, we forgot to npm I install React Native Gesture Handler.
Oh.
So that's my bad. So I will send you.
So what does it actually do, gesture handler?
So the gesture handler basically, kind of how I mentioned earlier, like we could have a stack, of stuff that we could swipe through. You can, you'll see on, apps all the time swiping through pages and stuff. It more or less allows that to happen, right? So you could, but it also, it does a lot more than that, right? So it just allows in general different gestures. We can click on a button, it'll bring us to a new page and kind of just allow us easier navigation.
Right, like this. So I'm going to be doing npm install React Native. Okay, dash, don't forget the dash, guys. React dash native dash gesture dash handler. Okay, so.
Can you make your terminal bigger?
Yeah, I am. Boop.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. So this actually assures all those swipe movements and all the movements you can make on your phone, which are, nowadays it's so normal.
Oh yeah.
To do that. Okay, cool. I think it's done.
All right. So yeah, we'll probably have to. Well, we had to kill it off to install it anyway, so we can go ahead and relaunch it.
Yes. Relaunch it. I'm gonna close off the simulator first. Okay, and then I'm gonna run it again. So now it starts up again. Woo! And now simulator. Okay, why is it opening up in this? Because I closed it. So let's see what goes on here. So I'm gonna make it bigger for you guys. And other than that, Tanner, what is the next thing once this is solved? What is the next thing?
So once we can get past this error, we will create our login page, or at least start linking together the login page.
Right. It stays black though. So what does that mean?
Is your emulator broken, bro?
Well, it says here opening on iPhone 8. Here it does say this on line 15.
Okay, it failed to build JavaScript bundle. Because of why? Because of React Native screens. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I thought that was going to happen. I sent you a couple more things to install. So we can go ahead and kill it off again.
Oh, right. We have to install a lot, guys. We're not done yet, okay? We're not done in the terminal yet, okay? Terminal got to work hard today, okay? So that's sad, guys. That's okay. So we have to install some more. So we have to install this. And it's gonna be called.
And a lot of the stuff that we end up installing, we don't really tend to, import or use, but they're pretty much dependencies on the navigation system.
Right.
So with React Native navigation, it does require quite a bit to actually work and be able to navigate through all of your different screens.
Right. So what does this gesture command do? npm I React Native reanimated.
It's just one of those random dependencies, to be honest with you.
Mm.
I've never really used it in depth or anything, so.
Okay. So that was done pretty quickly. So this means it's all good. Okay. So we're gonna do the next one. Okay. Boop.
The next one is gonna be React Native Safe Area Context, which,
Yeah, Safe Area Context. Okay. This one. Right. And the last one, and this is I think this our last error was about this. Okay, so npm I React Native screens. That's a lot of packages. Is that normal in React Native to use a lot of packages?
I would say
Lighters?
so.
Oh.
Especially when it comes to like the navigation component.
Aha, right.
I feel like a lot goes into that.
So I'm gonna close off this emulator. So are you sure, Tanner, that we have installed everything that we need?
That should be.
Yeah?
It should be everything.
Okay, great. Well, if it
We'll
doesn't,
find out.
we'll just find it out. That's what a developer does, right? So npm run iOS -c. Okay, Metro bundler starting up. Ooh, takes quite long. Comparison to, okay, there it is. Nice. Okay.
The app's getting heavy, man.
Oh, the app's getting heavy. I hope this is a good sign though that we saw that screen with apps. Oh, I think something's happening. Something's happening. Okay.
Cross our fingers that we don't get any errors.
Well, 100%. Okay. Oh,
What does it
but I think we should be in our root navigation. Okay, so in the navigation folder, root navigation file, and then at line 7 it says this is not a function. Create stack navigation is not a function. So we are importing create nav stack navigation from this.
Oh,
So I think we also, I don't
Well,
think we
because-
installed this one, to be honest.
it's because I'm dyslexic.
Oh,
So it's gonna be create stack navigator. We're gonna change the import as well, and that should fix it. Nope.
no.
What now?
But by the way, I don't remember installing this. Did this? Did I install this one?
Yeah, I put it in with the native one. I just gave it to you as one line.
Ah, right. Okay, good.
I
Just
installed
checking.
both at once. So create stack navigator from React Navigation Stack. That looks good. This should be good. You know what? A lot of the times when we have an error, especially when it's kind of like a deep root error in React Native, you'll have to completely refresh the app. So
So
Get
guys,
used to it, guys.
we're teaching you the real life scenarios here. Okay, it's not even a scenario. This is just how it is. Okay, so we're killing that server again, but that's okay. We just gotta keep going. Okay, in development and when you're
Some of those-
studying, you know, you just gotta keep going. So here it's starting off again.
yeah, some of those errors, they're going to be pretty persistent in React Native. So you really just gotta get used to refreshing it. Sometimes the error is
Oh.
going to be there.
Shoot, I didn't close it off before I killed it. I'm sorry. Oh, la la la. Learned that the hard way, guys. Stay with us. Okay? This is just how it's done. Okay? So, it's gonna start up. And then I'm gonna start the, the emulator. Okay, what does the black screen mean? We had that before. That's usually not a good sign.
Did anything pop up in the Expo terminal
In
like
the
it did last time?
Expo. Nope.
Says running build.
Yep. Running
Um,
application.
Man, that's an iOS thing. Got
Oh.
black screen of death. Yeah, I guess. I mean, the code compiled correctly, so I would just try to reset the emulator again.
Really?
This time, let's run npm run iOS with -c, so where they're clearing the cache.
Yeah. Oh, I've done that also the previous time. Was that not necessary? Like this, right?
Yeah, let's do that. Make sure we close out the emulator.
Yeah,
There
it's
we go.
closed. It's closed. Okay, let's go. E. Oh, it came up. Oh, I'm seeing something
Right.
that I like.
No black screen. That's good.
No
good
black
sign.
screen.
Real quick, hop back into root navigation. I added something that I'd like to explain real quick.
Nice. Root navigation.
All right, guys. So this line right here, or a couple lines right here, screen options, right? We're not really passing them in right now, but basically this is kind of like well, actually it applies to Android and iOS, but a lot of the times with these like default kind of like material UI and stuff like that. Ooh, actually, our app is up finally.
Yes.
We see there up at the top, you guys see that white bar that says Splash. That's what this screen option right here is for, to hide that ugly bar that we typically get with default iOS and Android apps.
Oh,
right?
so the stack screen has a default of that, the white bar.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow, that's almost like default on React.js, like when you have to remove all the margin and all that. Your whole app.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So guys, let's go right here in our Stack Navigator, and we're pretty much just gonna say screen options, and we're gonna pass in the screen options object that we just created, and pretty much tell it to hide all of those headers. So it's gonna affect all of the pages. We don't want any headers anywhere. Wait, not header shown. Screen options.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, because you want to pass in the object, not the key only. Yeah, got it. Great.
There we go. So we want to pass in this object that we created. And there's other stuff that you guys can look into as well. I mean, if you wanted to keep that bar, you could, and you could change the background color. You can customize all kinds of different stuff. But for our purposes, and especially on a splash screen, we definitely want to hide that.
So, Tanner, if I would want to know what kind of properties I can pass into Navigator or, Stack, where should I look up that documentation?
So React Native and Expo both have their own documentation. And even so much as, actually for this particular part, there's a specific documentation that we want to go to. So we would go to React Navigation.
So if I would look it up at Google, what would I say? React Navigation?
Yeah, actually, just type in React Navigation.
Yeah.
It'll be the first link. It's going to say reactnavigation.org.
Yeah.
And then head on over into that, say, read the docs. It's going to tell you how to install it, the stuff that we already did, where we installed React Native, or Navigation Native. And then it's going to tell you all kinds of different things. So there's tab navigation, which is that bottom bar that you can put into your apps, kind of like on Instagram. And you can pass in different icons into that. You can have all kinds of different pages linked to each one of those icons. But what we're doing is using it as a router, right? We still need it as a router to even get to these pages, regardless of having the tab navigation at the bottom or not.
Oh, okay,
right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So, screen options, we're passing it a value of that screen options object, which makes that white bar hide or actually disappear at the top here. So what's next?
So next, we're going to start building the login page. So while we're still in the root navigator, we're going to import it. We haven't created it yet, so we're going to get some errors.
Curly braces.
There we go. So let's import login from our screens, and we're going to have an auth section. So this is going to have login and sign up. So again, right, we can just destructor this. We don't have to keep going in even further. So I like doing that. And then down here where we have our stack screen, let's control C. Oops. There we go. Create two stack screens here, guys. So this one we're going to rename. So we're going to call it login. And we're going to pass in that login component we just imported. And the next thing that we want to do is also go back into our screens page. So we have a welcome folder. We're going to create an auth folder. So create folder, auth, and then in auth, we're going to create a new file, and this is going to be, well, actually first, let's see. Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, we are going to create a new file. It's going to be that index.js. So again, this is the pretty similar pattern that we should be getting used to, where when we create these folder systems for these different pages, we're going to have, well, different screens. We're going to have different pages in each screen, and we're also going to have that overall index to be able to export all of the different pages, all of the different screens all in one place.
Right. So where do you want me to go now?
So in screens inside of auth, there should be an index.js.
Right. By the way, we do have an error, but we can look at that later. Okay. So
yeah, so
let's do
that's
this
the
first.
login page. We haven't created it yet.
Aha. So auth index. Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and import the login page. So this is gonna be errors on top of errors on top of errors because we're importing login in so many places and we haven't created it yet.
Right.
But it's fine, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so let's import login and let's export login.
Right.
And eventually, we will also add sign in as well.
Login. Oh, login.
I
I don't know where that came from.
All right, our computer is speaking gibberish. All right, so in our auth, let's create a new folder, and this is going to be login. There we
Login.
go. So there we go. And this is going to need a login.js and a index.js. All right, guys. So very, very same thing that we did with our welcome page. We're just going over the same patterns. So let's create a new file in here. We're going to say index.js.
Inside of login, guys.
Yes. And you can probably guess what we're going to do. We're going to say import login from login. And then export in curly brackets login as default. As default. Perfect. Cool. And last thing, but certainly most definitely not least, inside of our login folder, we're going to create a new file, capital login.js. So we're finally going to start getting rid of that error.
Ooh, we're finally going to be making the login component itself. Yeah.
So again, guys, RNF.
Boom.
Bing,
All
bada,
right.
boom. Cool. So what do we want in here? First, we want buttons. So let's go ahead and say import that very same button component that we created. We're going to get this from all the way up. Should be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. So go up about 4 times and grab components. All right. And then right here where we say import view and text from React Native, we're going to need a safe area because we don't want our input fields to kind of intertwine with the status area. And then we're also going to say scroll view as well. Now, guys, in React Native, if we had an entire page of content that exceeded the total height of our screen, like if you have an iPhone 12 or whatever and it goes past the height of your screen, you can't scroll to see the rest of it without a scroll view. It will not allow it to happen. So we'll demo this with and without. Well, actually, there's not enough content on the login page to really demo it, but you guys will see it later. We'll demo it without the scroll view when we create the dashboard. So let's first wrap this in a safe area view, and then go ahead and put in a scroll view as well. So these are going to be our containers. And next thing we're going to have is just a couple views to contain the text and the button for our login page. So we're going to have a view here. And this is basically just a div, a more advanced div that React Native uses to kind of generate our content. And in here, let's say sign in to the Coinbase.
Hey.
So now let's go ahead and create another view underneath. And this is going to be our button. It's going to be self-closing. There we go. All right, so we're going to pass in some props. If you guys remember what our component looks like, we need tons of props. We're only going to pass in 2, though, for this one. So we're going to say text equals sign in. And disabled equals false. Perfect. Okay, so let's save that, and last but not least, we need to go ahead and create an on-press event for our button on our welcome page. So if we head back over to welcome.js, we're going to go ahead and create an on-press event in welcome.js.
Wait. Sorry, I'm not at welcome.js. I should be here. Sorry. I was still
No
at the
worries.
button. Okay. Yeah.
There we go. All right, so this is going to be, wait, which one did we just create? Sign in. So yeah, on the sign in button, because we just created the login page, we're going to say onPress equals, and here we're going to use a little callback function. So we're going to go ahead and say navigation. Now this is where you see it coming into play. That navigation, we never passed it into this component, but we did, however, call that component from within our navigation component, right? So just creating it, calling it into that navigation stack automatically gives this component this navigation object.
Sick.
We're going to say navigation.navigate. Basically a link, right? So we're going to go ahead and pass into this navigate function. We're going to go ahead and pass in login. That's going to take our app to a login page. It's going to go ahead and find whatever it can with the name of login. So if we head back over to root navigation.
Root navigation. Whoop. Yeah.
Yep. So you guys see the names there? That's how we access these components. So on the stack screen, we say name equals login, and that's what we just passed into that navigate function there. So we can kind of see it all coming together. This is how it's going to kind of play out. And I'm feeling like we're missing one thing. Let me check through some of these index files. I believe in our screens.
In our screens, we're missing.
In the screens folder on that very top index.
Yeah.
So, well, it'll be the very bottom.
Yeah. This one?
So I think that's in auth. So even further down.
Yeah,
so
even
close
further.
Auth and we close welcome. It'll be the last one.
Right, this one.
There we go. Yep, in that one, we want to go ahead and export the login page we just created. So now is where you'll actually see what I meant, where we're basically just going to have one index page exporting all of our different screens and components.
Oh.
All right. So auth index is automatically auth index is automatically grabbing the index page from the auth file or auth folder, which is exporting login, and then that top line is exporting the index from the welcome folder, which has our welcome component. So everything kind of ties together and exports out of this one page. So it's kind of like a gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I think that's pretty much that. So let's try to reload the app there.
Oh, okay. So let's close the app first here. Doop. Okay. Boop. npm run ios -c. Okay. See if it starts up. It does. Okay.
Auth index is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then simulator. Okay. It's still thinking. We didn't get any apps. Well, no that. Oh.
What does it say?
So none of these files exist. Screen/auth/pages/login.
Screen auth pages login. And what does it say? Which file is throwing that error?
No, it doesn't actually. Where did we import login into? Into the index index this one. Wait, which file is it when it says your screen?
Oh wait, I think I know why, guys.
Yeah.
So remember in the welcome folder, the first folder that we have in there is pages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messed up. So
Yeah.
if we open up the auth folder, we don't have a pages folder.
Yeah. By the way, there's no indeed. Yeah.
So let's create that, and then pretty much just grab the login folder and throw it into the
Pages
folder.
Okay, so this.
We should be good there.
Right. Okay. Boom. There we go.
And that will require you to reload the emulator again.
Right. Okay, got it. So do. Okay, shoot. So here, yeah, it is already starting up. Oh,
Okay.
this is good sign. Usually, I like this better. Well, it's just part of the dev life, you know. Just gotta keep going.
So next thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and style out those buttons, because we left them pretty blank, pretty unstyled. The only thing that they have is that kind of default feedback, the touch-based feedback.
Let's go
So
look.
everything's up. Everything's working. Cool.
Yeah, that looks nice. That looks slick. Okay, let's go. So let's go back to the app.js file, or where do you want to go?
So we're gonna go into the button folder, back into that style.js file that I said we were gonna revisit.
Excuse me, which file?
So in components,
Yeah.
in button,
Aha.
and then style.js.
Style.js. All right. Style.js.
Yeah. So we left this with kind of a placeholder. Go ahead and delete everything. We don't really need that. So we're gonna import a couple things. This is gonna look a lot like the last style page that we created. So we're gonna go ahead and import style sheet. Why do I keep doing parentheses? There we go. Style sheet from React Native. And then guys, we're gonna also get the RF value. Because again, right, we don't want our text to be too tiny, and we don't want it to be too set. We want to kind of have it be more fluid based on what phone we're using. So this is going to be React-native-responsive-font size. There we go. Okay. Next, we're going to import that colors object that we had. So let's go up a couple files or folders, go back into our resources, and find our colors. So let me make sure that's enough. So we have 1, 2, yeah, I think that should be enough. So just a couple folders up. Now we're going to say export default. And again, we're going to use that style sheet. So stylesheet.create to create our object here. All right, so here's where we're going to start applying some of our button styles. So that plain black text that we have sitting under the Coinbase Clone text right there, it has a little bit of a visual feedback when we touch it, but they don't really look too nice right now. So we're going to say button container. And let's just give it some good style. Let's make it look nice. We're going to say width 100%. Now guys, if we're not putting, you know, only a number, then it has to be in a string in this kind of format. Okay. Next, we're going to say height. We're going to say RF value 50. Okay, and then we're going to say border radius. So this is going to set our button to be a little bit rounded. So we're going to say 10. flex direction. Now guys, I haven't said display flex at all, and yet we're able to use flex direction. The reason being is everything in React Native is by default display flex, because React Native knows what's up.
So Tanner, can you, by the way, let's pause for a moment. So can you tell a little bit about your career and what you have been doing so far with coding? You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you only see me. That's not what's supposed to happen.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I started coding when I was like 9 or 10, pretty young. Mostly just hobby-ish. It wasn't really like anything too serious. But pretty much in 3rd grade, we had like a Weebly project, and I thought it was extremely interesting. I thought, you know, shit, we can drag stuff around, create websites. Anybody across the world with the same URL can view it. That's amazing, and I love creating shit. So I started kind of just reverse engineering all the code that I could find, right? Because at the time, you know, there wasn't any clever programmer, there wasn't any YouTube channels, and boot camps and stuff like that. So I didn't have like proper guidance or anything. It was mostly just, let's see what I can build, let's see what I can break, let's see how many errors I can debug. If there's anything I'm good at, it's probably debugging. So,
yeah, that's something that you should be good at. That's one of the most important skills as a developer, I think. And what you just said, you know, having guidance through your journey becoming a developer is so important. Okay, that's also what a lot of students say, right? So. The students that we teach, they say like, wow, you guys guiding me, that takes me to the next level. Because some of them have been doing this for a long time on their own. That's why, guys, you know, join the community, have fun, interact with other people. I always say one of my favorite mentors is actually when you teach it, you get to learn it twice, which actually means like you're helping somebody and you're reinforcing your own knowledge. Okay, so I think it's so amazing, and I love seeing this build, by the way. So let's keep going, but I think this is let's go, fire. Okay, guys.
All right, guys. So
we're here.
Okay, so it's up and running. Cool, awesome. So where did we leave off? We say align center.
Yeah,
display,
you were styling the buttons.
Cool. So the next thing we want to do is justify content center. So this is basically saying, because, you know, it's not actually a button, this is just a random touchable opacity type view area. So we're basically saying we want all of the text that's inside of it to go towards the center as if it was a button. So we're going to say justify and align everything to the center. And the next thing we want to say is align self center as well. And then if you guys remember that color object we created, we're going to say background color, colors, primary blue. So our button here is going to be blue. Let's see. Okay, so then we're going to say button text. And this is actually going to be the default button, right? Because it doesn't really make sense to have a primary blue background for the button that's going to be on this splash screen. But in our button.js, we're going to be able to take in some optional styles. So we'll be able to style out all of our buttons a little bit differently. We're going to say colors dot white. For the text color, the font weight is going to be bold. And then the font size, we're going to use that that RF value function, and we're going to say 15. And the last thing that we want is going to be icon style. So let's give it a height and a width using the RF value. So this one's going to be 20, and our height, or no, our width is going to be 25. Okay, and then tint color, which is a word you'll see all the time in React Native, especially when you do have like a tab bar or something. the tint color is typically like the highlighted or active version. So if we have an icon, its tint color is going to be white. Okay. So the next thing that we want to do is hop back into the button.js.
Oh, the button.js. Let's go.
Yes. Awesome. So up here where we have our constants, we're going to add a couple more. Right now we have text, icon, and disable. So we also want to add, like I said, guys, we're going to have some button style. We don't want all of our buttons to be background primary blue because it's going to blend right into the splash screen. So we're going to say button style. We're going to say on press. We're going to be able to pass in some callback functions. And then we're going to also say button text style. Because if we're going to be able to change the background, we need to change the text as well.
Right.
So next, let's see. Our touchable opacity. I'm going to start breaking this down because we're going to have some more stuff in here. So we're going to take in some attributes. First, we need an on press. And then we're going to equal on press.
On press sounds so like different than on click, but it does the same, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it acts as on click, but for your thumb.
On press. Yeah,
All right. And then style. This one's gonna be an array. Where's my curly brackets? I can never use curly brackets.
An array of what?
It's gonna be an array where we're gonna say style dot button container. So this is going to be kind of that style object that we just created inside of our style.js. And then we're also going to comma in button style, right? So the reason we want button style to be second is because we want it to override anything, right? If we get button style, we want it to override anything that comes in first. So by default, our button's gonna have that blue background, but if we pass in a different background, we want that to be the case.
Oh, just like how styled components work, actually, right?
Yeah.
Through inheritance,
exactly.
But you can adjust that specific component or element in this case. You want to change.
Right.
Cool. Sick.
And then let's see. So we're gonna change our text a little bit because we have some text style now. So let's kind of break this down. Okay. So we're going to say style. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to pass in an array. Now the first thing we want is that style button text that we created. The next thing that we want is going to be button text style. And then we're going to pass in our own CSS object right here. So we're going to say margin right. And if we have an icon, so question mark, we're going to set the margin right to 10. Otherwise, we're going to set it to 0. Okay, guys? So if we have an icon, we want to give it a little bit of a margin right. Otherwise, we don't want a margin. Okay? And then this is spelled completely wrong. What am I doing here? So this is button text, and then it's style dot. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then comma. Okay, what?
Wait, isn't it here? Isn't it like this one, button text style? Is that what you mean? Oh.
Yeah. So we want that one to be the second one because that's the one that we're going to pass in, and then this is the one that we built out in the style.js.
Right. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right. Like this. Okay.
Cool. Thank you. I don't know what just happened. Okay, cool. So I think that looks better. And
woo! Let's go! Oh my god, it looks amazing.
What does that error say?
Set visible. It says can't find variable disabled. It can't find this in the welcome.js.
I typed in disable.
Yeah.
It needs to be disabled.
Oh, that's an easy fix. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
Easiest fix we've had. All right. So then we're gonna add some style to our image. So we're gonna say style is style.icon style, guys. There we go. Okay, so right now the image, or I mean the button is going to blend into the background because it's the same color. So we need to go ahead and start passing in some new values to kind of take over that style. So what are we going to do? We're going to go create some style inside of our welcome style.
Ooh.
So if you go back into screens and then back into welcome,
Ooh.
and then style.js, we're going to add style for our buttons specifically on the welcome page, right? So very local, kind of like using CSS module.
Right. Guys, if now I'm not opening the file structure on the left side, ooh, whoops. You can still see here at the top where I am, okay? You can still see it here. So we are now in style.js, okay, in the folder welcome.
Awesome. So let's say that for our welcome screen, we want the background color of our button style to be colors.white. Okay? And then the button 2, which is going to be the secondary button there, because we have 2 buttons on our welcome screen. We don't want both of them to be primary buttons. So we're going to say button 2. And, well, let's first give this one a margin top of 20. Okay? And we'll come down here and say button text style. This one's going to be color, and we want to actually set this one to colors of primary blue, right? Because if we have a white background on the button, then we're going to make the text itself blue.
So why is this one complaining here, Tanner?
Because I forgot the commas separate.
Yeah, of course.
There you go.
Hey.
Yeah, we want to make sure that all of these are comma separated, guys. Cool. All right. So let's see. Need to save a bunch of stuff. Okay, cool. What's the error that it's giving us?
Ooh, style. Variable style. Can't find variable style. Did we pass that?
Inside of our button.js, we did not import button. I mean, the style component.
Right. So it should either be here or...
We can put it in the top up here. We're
Right.
going to say import style from dot style. There we go.
Aha. That makes sense.
Okay.
So it will
So that
grab
should
it
get rid
from...
of that error.
And you have
And we probably have
double
no error.
comma at style.js. So here I think... Was it here? Yeah, here. Boop. Gone.
Oh, yeah.
Like
okay.
it never happened.
There we go.
Okay. Ooh. Oh yeah, can't find... I saw this before. Error of... Ooh. Aha, this was in style.js. Aha, value. Like this. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. Ooh, align center is not a valid style property.
Oh. I said align center. It's align items.
Good one.
There we
Good
go.
catch. Amazing. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm sure a lot of people can relate, you know, so that's okay. It's all about debugging, guys. It's all about backtracking where you came from and what you have been doing up until now. So cool. Oh, the buttons are here. Okay. So what's next, Tanner?
Yep. So next we want to actually start passing in some of the styles. So we need to go back to our welcome page. So welcome.js.
Welcome.js. Here. Yep.
Yep. So far we've passed in text, we've passed in disabled, and now we need to pass in button style.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
this one's going to be
Whoop.
our...
Oh, sorry. Oops. I was trying to rearrange things better for you guys, but...
Alright, so this one's going to be button... style.button style. So this is again the one that we just created inside of the local style to the welcome page, right?
Yeah.
And then button text style. And this one's going to be style.button text style.
It's so
Yep.
clean though. Like you only import style You only import style here at the top, and then you can just use it here everywhere, you know, by accessing those keys with the styles. Amazing. Oh, let's go. Look, I think it got applied. Okay, let's do it for the next button.
Button style, button text style equals style dot button style 2. All right. So let that refresh a little bit. Okay. So we have that. We have that. And oh, let's style out this view right here, right? Because we don't want our buttons to kind of be pressed up against that splash screen logo where it says Coinbase Clone. So let's give this just its own, you know, typical style. So we're going to say style equals, we're going to say style dot bottom view. Now we haven't created this one yet.
Oh.
So let's hop back into style.js.
Style.js.
The one for our welcome screen.
Oh, yeah. Whew, yeah, so many files. Style, okay, and then it's probably here, right?
Yep. So let's go ahead and comma in, and we're gonna say button view. Now we're gonna create this object. We're gonna give it some, let's see, padding, I think. Well, first, let's give it position absolute. Again, anything that's not like a direct number, we're gonna wrap those in strings. So we're gonna say position absolute. We're gonna say bottom 30, left 20, and right 20. Okay. And then let's go back to our welcome.js.
Oh, look at that! Whoa! Wow, this looks already so good, guys. I love it. Okay, okay. So that's the get started together, button, guys. The white one, actually, right?
Yeah, so I think I might have gave it the wrong name. So I'm gonna hop back into style.js. Okay, so we have button style, which has background color white, and then button text style, which has colors primary blue. Okay. That looks good. So let's hop back into welcome.js. So we said button style equals style.button style, and then we said button text style is style button text style. Okay.
Okay, wait, maybe I can help you out. I can do the, oh shoot, I can do this. And I can split the screen. On the right side, I'm gonna open up the style for the pages where you were before, and then on the left side I'm gonna close this one up. Is this possible? Is this visible? Do you think this is visible? Like this?
Yeah, I think that looks fine. Let's see here.
So take us into your thought process, Tanner, if you can.
Right now I am sitting into a button.js, just making sure I had all of the props passed in that we wanted.
So you're in button.js, okay.
And then we have button text style as well. So it looks like we have everything there. All right, so we're passing in
this button text style. It's not lighted up though. We're not using part? It's not lighted up. Okay. So there's something with this one.
Button text style. Oh, you know what? Right here where I said style dot, that's trying to access this style inside of the style component, and we didn't put it there because it's a prop. So delete that.
Aha.
Now let's try that again.
Ooh.
Wait, what just happened?
Oh, okay. Look, there it is.
There we go.
Heh heh. Hoo hoo. Ha ha.
So now we can see our text. So actually, if you reloaded, I mean, we don't have to reload it, but if you did, you would see that it's the splash screen for, a couple seconds. We only see the logo. We see that the page is loading basically, and then the buttons appear. So they're not there instantly.
Yeah, that's because of the set timeout, right? With the 2 seconds we put it on before it's visible with the conditional rendering, right? Where was it? In app, or where did we do that?
It is
in the welcome.
The welcome page.
Exactly. So that's what happens here, guys. The moment this component welcome gets loaded up, useEffect is fired off, which is a React hook. Okay, and useEffect fires only off when the app is being loaded. So that will give us a timeout of 2 seconds. And basically after those 2 seconds, the variable visible is set on true, which in case it is true, all of this will be rendered on your app. Okay, the buttons and all of that. That's why that is happening. Okay, cool. Let's go. What's next?
So if you click, which one do we create? We created login. So try clicking on sign in, and it should, since we linked up all the navigation, it should take us to a login page.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna click on sign in.
There we go.
And it shows us the
Alright,
sign
guys.
in page.
So this is kind of, and as you kind of saw, it kind of slid in. So this is why we had so many different stuff being, installed and imported and everything for our navigation. That page just slid in. That's the, animated part and everything else that we have. So we just have stacks of pages that are sliding in and out. And we have that navigation stack kind of handling it all for us. So the next thing we want to do is start adding some input fields to our login page.
Oh, nice. I like. Okay, so what should we make?
So let's head to auth pages login login.js.
Auth pages. Oh, sorry. Where's auth pages? Here, screen. Yeah. Okay, auth pages, login. Yes. And then here.
Awesome. So what do we want to do? We need to import a bunch of stuff. So we already have, let me change this to word wrap. Okay, so we already have our view, text, safe area, scrollable view. Let's go ahead and add just a couple more things. So we need text input so we can actually, have some input fields. We're also going to need touchable opacity.
Ooh, where are you at? I'm not seeing you. Index? Or
In the login page.
oh,
so
you are. Okay, great. I was here too.
Yeah, it should be. Oh, I guess it's not like breaking down, but I'm at the top over here.
Okay, great.
So maybe toggle word wrap.
Oh yeah, word wrap. View, I think. Toggle word wrap. Yeah, good idea.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, I just added a couple things up here, just the text input and the touchable opacity. Okay, and then we have our button ready and everything like that. So let's create a couple constants. So first, we need to take in some props because, again, guys, anything that's in our navigation stack is going to automatically get a navigation property. So we're going to say const. We're going to destruct the. I know how to spell. That'd be nice. We're going to destruct the navigation property.
You sure it's navigation, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Awesome. That's always good.
We're going to create a couple,
States.
custom hooks, some standard stuff.
Yeah.
So we do this, in React all the time. Every time someone's, typing in an input field, we're updating these custom hooks where we're saying, all right, let's set the email, let's set the password, let's set their first name, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to say email equals set email. We're going to say password equals set password. And both of these are going to use state and be an empty string originally.
Right.
And they will be updated upon user input.
Oh.
And we're missing one thing, Jesse. We need to come back to the top and say from React, we need to import React
use state.
Use state. There we go.
Yes. Not state. Yes. Oh, let's go. Okay. Wow, that looks really good. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna press the sign in. Yay.
There we go. So, what do we need to add? We need to add some input fields, and we need to make sure that our button can get us to the dashboard once we create that. So let's first, under our text view here, we're going to create some views inside of this view, right? So we have this view, we're going to be inside of it, and we're going to create another view. Okay. First thing we need is a text. And this is going to be basically a label for our input field. So we're going to say email. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and also say text input. A lot of the stuff that we use, and actually this is going to be self-closing. So a lot of the stuff that we use, you know, it looks like typical stuff that we would see in React, or a lot of the typical kind of HTML type stuff that we would use, but it has to be very specific to React Native to be kind of converted the right way once it loads up in iOS or Android. So this one we're going to say value equals that email variable that we created.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to also say the placeholder is whatever we want to say. So something, you know, like example at email.
Aha, yeah. That's the one going to be visible in the input, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
and then we're going to give it an on change.
Like
yeah.
So on change text. So it's a little bit different in React Native, right? And what are we going to do? We're going to say grab the text that's inside of it, and we're going to pass it to.
Ooh.
So this is basically just a callback function. We don't want this to run immediately. I don't know if you guys have ever run into this in React, but if we don't have like a callback function here and we just simply say set email, we're going to get some sort of weird loop. It's going to keep trying to run over and over and over.
Yeah.
We don't want that. So
It's
we're going to
firing off.
it
will fire off the
Yeah.
moment unchanged text will be triggered. Okay, guys. So always have the parentheses at the front. That way, that won't happen. It's a callback function, like Tanner just explained. Cool. And this will set the email, right?
Yeah. So next thing we want is to set the password. So I'm going to copy this entire view right here and just paste it right below.
And boom, password.
Just going to change a couple values, right? So we're going to say password. And we don't really need a placeholder. I mean, we could put like stars. So the value for this one is going to be password.
Yeah, guys, here, like this one. So it lights up, as you can see. Okay. And here we're going to be using... Yeah, we're going to be using that setter function, which will set the value on the variable password because we're using a use state here. Okay, that's just a topic of React hooks. Okay, cool. Let's go. I'm wondering how it looks like.
Let's go ahead and save it and see if we get our input fields popped up. Did it not save?
Oh, we are seeing something.
Nice. Yeah, so input fields, they pretty much show up invisible in React Native by default, right? So we have to style these out and actually make them, you know, show up on our screen. We can obviously see if we had a placeholder there that we could see an input field there. We can also click into them, type into them. But by default, they have no border, they have no outline, they have none of that annoying stuff that.
Oh, I like that better though.
Has.
I like that better. I mean, I always have to remove that blue ugly border.
Oh yeah.
I hate it. Okay, cool. So let's style this up.
Yeah. So let's add one more thing to our button here, and this is going to be on press. What are we going to do? Let's leave this. I was going to say let's leave it empty for now, but no, we don't want to do that. We're going to say navigation dot navigate. Dude, why can I not spell navigate? There we go. We're going to navigate to the home page. We haven't created it yet, but this is going to be the label that we put into our navigation stack, right? So we need those titles, those names.
Sorry, where were you at? I clicked the wrong. Yeah,
pretty much
here.
Good for the login page.
Okay. Okay. So, are you saving? Are you saving it?
Yeah. So I think that should be good. Nothing's going to change yet, so we need to start styling it out. Let's add a little bit of text, though. So let's see. Right under our password. Are you still there? Okay.
Yeah.
So right under our password view here, guys, we're going to go ahead and create another view. And here we're going to actually use those touchable opacities that we imported at the top, right? Touchable opacity. And in this, we're going to say text, capitalized text, right? Forgot password. Okay, and then I'm going to copy this and create another one, and this one's going to say privacy policy.
Oh.
There we go, guys. So now, once we save, we should see those kind of pop up, and they'll have that kind of little bit of a visual feedback once they're clicked on because of the touchable opacity.
Ooh. Yes. Oh, I forgot password privacy policy. Cool.
All right, so now let's start adding some style, Jesse.
Ooh. Okay. Which file?
So we're gonna actually create a new one. So this is gonna be in our auth, in our pages. So auth pages and new file, style.js.
Pages. Wait. Here, this one, guys. This is the new one. Yeah, let's go.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, so inside
Right,
pages, guys, style. Okay.
I'm gonna go over back to the other style page and just copy everything that we had.
Okay, the
And
other
then hop
style
back in.
page. Ooh.
Okay, so we have our container. It's gonna have flex 1. We have our background, which is gonna be white this time because we're not on the splash page anymore. We don't want a giant blue background. So there we go. And let's see, we have everything we want imported. Cool. Yeah, so I just copied this from the welcome pages style page. Okay, guys. Now let's add some padding because you know, with our splash page, it was just one piece of text completely centered to, you know, the absolute center of the page. Whereas this is going to be, you know, we have our input field, we have our button, and as you guys can see on the screen right now, the button is touching the edge of the screen. So we're going to add some padding to it. Here, sorry.
Okay, so how much padding?
Yeah, I'm trying to, actually, for now, let's just add some padding top.
Aha.
Okay, now this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. We're gonna actually access your phone, its screen height, right? So we're gonna say platform OS.
Oh.
Now, if this equals Android, what are we gonna do? We're gonna say status bar current height. Now, what is this for? It's basically doing the exact same thing that safe area is doing for iOS, right? Because like I said, that safe area, it only applies to iOS. If we want to make sure that on Android, our text or whatever else doesn't intervene with the status area, this is what we want to do. We want to say padding top, platform OS. If it equals Android, let's add some stuff, right?
So wait, Tanner, I have a question.
Yeah.
This platform, where can we get that from? Like.
Yeah, actually, I forgot to import that.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So right here where we say React Native,
Mm-hmm.
we're also gonna say import status bar.
Aha.
We're using that.
Yes.
And we're using form. So let's get that.
All right. So from the React Native library, we can check whether we're running our app on is actually an Android or something else. But in case it's an Android, we can set the current height of the status bar, or we can use that, or either it becomes 0, right? Because we're using a ternary operator here, guys. Yeah.
Inside of that status bar that we imported is going to have its current height. And then otherwise we'll set it to 0 because we don't need any padding top for iOS.
Ooh.
Right?
Okay, cool. Wow, I never knew this was possible. Okay. That said, by the way, do we need this main view? Yeah, do we need this main view, by the way? Because we are in the style.pages, right? So do we need this main view? Because this is not the...
Yeah, we're going to keep this.
Okay.
But instead of saying main view flex 1, we're going to say flex grow 1.
Uh-huh.
And we don't really need those. So we're going to say padding top. And do we have RF value? Yes, we do. Okay, so we have RF value imported. We're going to use that. We're going to say 60. And then padding. Now this is one of the things that I really, really like about React Native that I always miss when I go back to React. Padding horizontal. We don't have to specifically say padding left, padding right when we only want padding left and right, or, you know, whatever we want to do. We can say padding horizontal or padding vertical, and it's going to automatically do everything we need. And then justify content, space between.
Ooh.
Okay. Cool. Text style. What do we want to do for our text style? Let's see. We're going to say font size value is going to be RF value 20. Okay. Font weight, we can keep that at bold, and the color, we don't want it to be white, so we can get rid of that. That looks good. Okay. Then let's copy this. We're going to use another text style. And because we have like the whole privacy policy and forgot password, we can change those. So we're going to say text style 1. We're going to change this to 14. And we can leave it at bold too. Okay. Let me see. I don't really think we need the rest of this stuff. We can get rid of those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then let's see.
So we're
gonna need a.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
We're gonna need a flex row view. So let's create this. So we're gonna say margin top. This one's gonna be 30. And we're gonna say flex. Is your neighbor dying?
I hope not.
Okay. I don't even know what I just typed. We're gonna say flex direction equals row. That's what we're styling out, right, guys?
So
flex row.
in React Native, you have to give it a row as a value because usually it's a default row value, right? Flex direction.
Yeah, in React Native, even though everything is already default display flex, it's actually defaulting to column, so it's reverse.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's interesting. Okay, let's go.
So we're gonna say flex direction row, and then we're gonna say
yeah. Items. I think yes. Center. Yes. Basic. Good.
There we go. Justify
Boom
content.
boom. Pow pow. Let's go.
Space between. Pow pow. Let's go. All right, guys. Let's start adding some of this. I'm pretty sure this isn't all of it, but we can come back to this. Let's start adding some of this to our login page, right? So, what do we got?
Go here, right?
Our style. Yes. So let's scroll all the way up because we don't have our style page. So we're gonna go ahead and say import style.
Wait, where are you at? Tanner, where are you at?
Login.js.
Login.js. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Go to the
all
top.
the way at the top.
Yeah.
Say import style from. Let's go up and grab our style. Okay. All right. So let's see. If I hop back into the style, we created container. We created main view. So safe area view. We're gonna say style equals.
Ooh, yeah.
And this one's gonna be our container. So we're gonna say style dot container, and then our scroll view is going to be content container style equals, and we're going to pass in style.mainView. Okay. Now the content container style, it's just a little bit different. It's something that we pretty much just use on scroll views because, you know, sometimes our scroll view will actually like ignore some style or whatever. It doesn't really act like a typical view container. So we're going to say content container style.
Okay. We're going to give it the style of the main view. Okay.
Yeah. And then let's see. So the first text right here where we say sign in to Coinbase, We're gonna say style equals style dot text view, or text style. I think that's what we named it. Cool, cool, cool.
You want to check it?
It is text style. We're good.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And then let's see. We have a view right here. This one's gonna be style equals what did we say? Oh, we haven't created this one yet, actually. So we'll say style equals style dot margin, or set margin. We can call it that, set margin. So let's go back to the style.js.
Yep, in the pages, guys, here in the style. Then here, set margin, right? Oh, sorry.
Hell yeah.
I thought I was going to help you, but...
All good. There we go. Cool. So set margin, we're going to say margin top. And this one's going to be, what do we want to do? 15. Okay. I think we're going to style those input fields as well, right? We don't want to leave them completely blank and just nothing there. So we're going to give it some height. So we'll say RF value. And we'll say 45 for this one. We'll do some padding horizontal, right? We don't want to touch in the borders of our phone. And then font size. And this one's going to be RF value 15. Okay. Cool, guys. Let's see. What else do we want to do? We're going to say margin top so that the text areas don't kind of like collide into each other. So we'll say margin top 5. Sounds pretty good. Now let's give it a border. Now with React Native, we can't just simply say like border 1 pixel, yada yada yada. We gotta say border width as a separate entity 1, border radius as a separate entity, which I mean that one's always a separate entity anyways. So, and then border color, right? Even if we give it a border width, we're still not gonna see it. So we gotta say color dot.
Oh, what happened here?
Right.
Is this cool? Is it okay?
No, that's not what we want. There we go.
Ooh.
Okay, so border color equals colors.medium gray, but we didn't create that yet, right? So let's head back to colors.js in the resources folder.
Ooh.
All right, so we'll say medium gray.
Medium gray.
I never know how to spell gray properly. Like I never know to use E or A.
If you
You know what? I think I used A.
really?
I did. No.
Maybe like
I used
there's tea called Earl Grey, right? So that way you can maybe remember it because Earl starts with E. So Earl Grey, with E.
Oh yeah. Okay, so if you want to type in just gray in there, the VS Code live share kind of kicked me out.
Yeah. Aha, like this? Or
Yeah. Well, it'll be a string. Yeah.
ooh, sorry. Okay. So
So you'll have to re-invite me to the VS Code live share.
oh really? What happened?
I don't know. It just threw up some random error and kicked me out.
Oh no. Wait, I have to click this. Invite. Oh yeah, I think this is working. Okay, you got invited. That's great. Medium gray. Let's see. It's not giving me any other.
You can just wrap it in a string and that'll be good.
Oh yeah, right. Like this. Okay, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yo, you're back in the session. Great. Awesome.
Perfect.
So now that we have
All right,
medium
guys.
gray, what other colors do we need?
I think we're good for now.
Yeah, medium gray here.
For the colors. So we can head back on over to the style.js for the login page.
Right, we're there now. Or right?
Yeah. Cool. So we just need one more thing. And this is going to be a button view. We're going to say margin vertical. And we're going to set that to 20. Awesome. So now let's head back on over to login.js and start filling in some of these styles.
Yeah, so
We'll actually see it
wait,
happen live.
I think we started off with this one. So what I'm going to do, set margin, text input style, and btn view. Okay, so we're going to be importing that here, or using that here, basically.
Yep, so the last one we did was on line 20. We said style main view. So let's see. The
set
next
margin.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did set margin. That was the last thing we did. Okay, cool. So we can actually copy this set margin. And we're going to put it on the other view as well that has our password section down here. Okay, and then I'm just going to multi-cursor this. So basically, you know, hold down Control or Command, type into 2 places here. So for our text, for our email text and our password text, we're going to say style equals, what did we call it? We said like text style?
Text style input or something? Wait, let me check. Text input style. Okay.
Well, that'll be text style 1, and then our input field here is going to have the text input style. So that's going to be here and here as well.
Yes. Okay, so we added this guys on line 29 and also at line 38. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. Next, if you scroll down to where we have all of those touchable opacities, we can kind of start passing in some styles there as well. So over here we have a overall view. So we're going to say style equals, and this is going to be style dot flex row view. There we go.
Yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah.
And then style equals style dot link style, and this is going to be our touchable opacities. So we can copy this and put it in the other one as well. Right, guys? Okay, so I think that should be...
Did we make the link style already?
Oh, wait. Did we? Did we not?
Because I don't remember seeing it here. No.
Okay, let's create that. We'll say link style. Okay. What do we want to do for this one? We want to say font size. Font size. RF value. There we go.
So, Tanner, by the way, I'm a bit curious about the RF value. Maybe you said it, but why is it handy to use that? Or does it have anything to do with the response font size library, or?
Yeah, so the that long library name that we imported.
Yeah.
What was it? React Native Responsive Font Size. That one.
Yeah.
Pretty much, that's a function that allows us to, well, I mean, it doesn't allow us to do anything because we're not doing it, but it calculates sizes, mostly font sizes, based off of the screen's width, right?
Right.
So if we're on like an iPhone 12 versus like an iPhone 5, obviously those screen sizes are way different. So this function allows us to kind of have that generated font size so that we, you know, it looks proper.
Oh, sick. Whoa. Well, React Native is so clean. It's like, it's looking at things differently. Like over, I would say like, they're like a horizontal view of things, you know what I mean? So that, you know, with this library, you can just set all of your fonts according to the screen you are actually developing now for the iPhone 8 that we use here. But it's so responsive in this way because we don't need to think about how the font size should look for an iPhone 12. Is that correct?
Exactly, yeah.
Right. Oh, cool. Okay. So let's go. Font size value, RF value.
So this one's going to be 14. There we go. Okay, so I think that should be all of the styles that we need. Let's go back to login.js, make sure we have everything there. I think
login.js.
we put in all of the styles. Oh, right here we need to say style equals style.buttonView.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, I think that should be it. What is that error saying?
Ooh, that error is trying to install the. Oh wait, I think you're forgetting the import style. It says unexpected token on line 11. Unexpected token.
Login.js?
Yeah, importing style.
Because I said import style and then immediately said the file name.
Yep.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay,
Ooh.
that should be better.
Now, none of these files exist. This style.js. Which one? This one? The error is
we have
here.
Default style sheet. Okay, so I don't think we went out enough folders. I think we need to go out one more.
Yeah, I think so too. 3 at least.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Now
can
what?
find variable text style 1. So where is that setup? Ooh, this one is in a different. So where are we using text style 1? I would look it up like this because I want to know where it's being used. Okay, so here it's defined. But here in the login.js, text style 1.
Oh, because I didn't say style dot. There we go.
Aha! See?
And we need to change that, yeah. Up there as well.
And here too. Style. Like this. Right?
Perfect, there we go.
Okay. Woo! Awesome, works fast.
Alright, so now try to go hit the sign in button.
Ooh, sign in button.
And let's see if we get the new style on our login page.
Do. I'm gonna click it now. Whee! Oh. Okay.
Alright, what does that one say?
Text style 1. Can't find variables text style 1.
It's being persistent, so we need to reset it.
Oh, we need to oh, is that what it is? Okay, we're gonna reset it. Okay. Can I not reset it by hard refreshing the emulator or something? Oh, wait, look.
I mean, there's got to be a way to refresh it on the emulator.
Yeah.
I don't really use Mac, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'll just develop on my...
Okay. Anyways. We have to kill it, probably. Okay, there we go. Well, we haven't done this for a while actually, so that's really good. So that said, there we go. iPhone X, iPhone 8. Okay, this is also going well. That's good. No errors for so far. Okay, so what's next, Tanner? Once we have the login page and everything.
Once we can have our login page.
Oh, wait. Let me sign in. I'm gonna sign in. Whoa, boom. Hey, let's go. Oh my god, guys, isn't this amazing? Look at this. We got the email, we got the password. We can even type stuff in here. Okay, Jessy, la. I cannot give my email. Oh,
so
guys.
Jessy.
Wow. Yeah.
Kind of keep in mind, like everything, in React Native, it's all Flex, and everything has been cascading down. It's all been, column view, and then that part right there under the password is where we said specifically that we want it to be row, and so that's where we have forgot password and whatever else, right? So that's where we kind of made that row view.
Right. So that was flex direction. Okay, where we had row, indeed. Okay, guys, so that's here, button content. Yeah, that's actually here. It's actually, oh no, wait, it's here, I think. This one, flex row view, that's the one you're talking about here. Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And wait, if I press this, it should have that hover, yes. Oh,
yep.
Holy cow. So slick, guys. And I can just paste things in here. Just like a real app. Cool. Okay, I love it.
So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and create our create account page.
Awesome. So where should we make that? Should we make it here also in the login?
Yeah, so this will be another example where we kind of see multiple imports from that index, giving that kind of good example of why we do that. So we're going to be back into our auth folder, and first thing what we're going to do is, let's see, we want to go into auth pages and create a folder for, I think create account. So yeah, so auth pages, new folder, and this is going to be create account. There we go.
Create account. Yeah.
And then in there we're going to say index.js.
Yep.
And let's see. So in here we're going to say import account, and we're going to import it from account. All right.
Oh, what happened here? I don't think that's necessary.
I don't know what VS Code is on today, but all right, guys. So then we're going to go ahead and just export create account as default, because this is the index that's inside of our create account folder. So
Right.
this is where we're going to export it as default, and then we're just going to export it with our login as well.
Yeah, like we've done with all the previous components, guys. Also with the login, you know, here export login as default. So we're also doing that with the create account. Okay. And then Tanner just made a create account.js file. Okay, also in that folder, create account. So RNF, or what was the abbreviation you used?
Yeah, so we'll do RNF, so React Native Function.
Aha.
Bing, bada, boom. So we'll just save this for now, to kind of prevent any fatal errors or anything. And let's hop back into index.js in our pages folder. Or no, wait, in our auth folder.
So to give it really clear to you guys, I'm gonna go in here. Okay, the index in auth. Boom.
All right, so we're gonna say import create account from pages create account, and we're gonna export both login and create account. Awesome, cool. So now we have our login page and our create account page. Let's see, I don't think we need anything else there. Cool, so let's hop back into our root navigation page.
Root navigation page. Whee!
All right, so we're gonna say import login and create account. Now you guys can see that kind of effect that I was saying, right? So anytime we've ever imported anything from React, we do this. Whereas typically with our own custom components, we're saying, hey, go grab this from, you know, folder within folder within folder. Now we can say, hey, we have all of these components, all of these login and create account page. They're all very similar. We want to grab them from one area. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, let's create our stack for it, right?
Oh, so stack screen, and then instead of login, you're gonna be saying create account, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
So we'll say right here, let's see, create account, and right here, create account. Perfect, cool. Honestly, let's go back to the create account.js.
Create account.js. I put on the word toggle or toggle wrap. Where is the create account? Where was it? Auth pages here.
So auth pages.
Yeah.
Yep. So if we wait, what is the error that we're getting?
Couldn't find a component, get component, or children prop for the screen create account.
Okay, yeah. So we'll probably just have to refresh the simulator then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, you can go ahead with the create account, I think, with the code. Let me make this smaller.
Okay. So yeah, I was just going to test it with this sign up text right here, but we can just go ahead and start building it out as well, right? So we have our function-based component. We're going to have to import some stuff from React Native here. So we have our view, we have our text, and we have...
Oh
my God.
I'm sorry, guys. I thought we could work faster, but no. Going fast is never good, right? Going slow is fast. That's also what we tell our students, by the way, in the bootcamp, guys. Going slow is fast. If you focus on the fundamentals of coding, that's when, once you have those fundamentals, you can do anything. Like, for example, with React Native, right? If your knowledge of React.js is really good, how long would it take to learn React Native? It's fairly easy, you know? So here, boom, pow. Oh, here's simulator. Oh, I'm still getting that error, by the way, even though I closed it. That's strange.
Okay.
So couldn't find a component, get component or children prop for the screen, create account. Create account.
Okay, so we have create. Oh wait.
So maybe in the root, should we look for? Oh! There we go. Oh no, sorry.
Almost. Does it give the same error?
Yeah. No, it doesn't give.
Okay,
Gives another
something.
error actually. No, it is the
Okay.
same, but it's in a different area. Root navigation line 16 is oh, let's go. See, I thought it would
Okay,
happen.
cool.
Yeah, great.
All right, so the way that it was fixed, guys, the index.js inside of create account in that folder, when we said, yes, this file right here, we said create account, default, export it as default. I had accidentally capitalized default. So now we should be good.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. So, well, we can't go back from the sign-in page, but if you want to reload the terminal, we should be able to see our create account page now.
Oh, so I have to okay, I have to kill it. I have to kill it. I kill it with fire. Okay, npm run. Oh, let's close it first. Boom, pow. Choo. Alrighty, there we go. So in Android, you don't have to kill it at all?
Well, when I work on my physical phone, you don't really have to
Aha.
like restart it every single time.
your
Every once in a
physical.
while, you'll get a persistent error, and you'll have to kind of reset it like that. But yeah, you get a notification kind of like in your notification section where you'll actually just be able to reset or refresh the app.
Oh, it's handy to work from your phone then. Oh, but hey, look, it works. At least it doesn't break here at this point, so that's always good. Then sign
So
in.
let's hit get started. No,
Oh, get started.
that's why we have to reset it.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. Get started because you want to create an account because you just got into the app. Okay, that's the whole point of it. Okay. Oh my god, I'm sorry. But other than that, guys, what's the next? Once we have create account, it will show us what we have to. We also would have to make input in like an email or a name, right, to create an account. So how does that go?
Yep. So we won't touch up on the Firebase authentication immediately, but we'll come back to the create account once we have the dashboard created.
Right. So here we go. There it is.
All right. Perfect.
Okay,
So
call
yeah,
it out.
let's hit get
Get
started.
started. Okay, boom. Oh,
Did nothing happen?
it does hover
Weird.
nicely, but doesn't do what we want, I think. Yet. Okay,
we
so
have
let's
root
see where that goes,
navigation.
right?
Oh, right. Sorry, guys. We did not put in the button yet. So which page was that? Welcome page. Welcome.js.
Aha. So we're gonna go to
Let's
welcome.
say
pages, welcome.js,
Mm-hmm.
and then get started.
First button here, the get started button, we're going to say on press equals, and then we're going to pass in a callback function right here, and this is going to take us to navigation.navigate. And where do we want to go? We want to go to create account.
Oh,
Perfect.
sick. That is so easy, sort of.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's so logical. Or,
Once it's set up, it's a breeze.
what? So, well, this is apparently a click with the thumb, but then this callback function is being called, guys. And then, as you can see, it's so easy, like navigation, navigate, and then you just call the component that needs to come up that you want to be redirected to. Holy shit, that's so cool. Okay, now that we have this set up, don't we need to... Oh, we have already navigation. That's why you added that as props in the beginning. Oh, wow. Holy fuck. Okay.
Awesome.
Sorry,
So
excuse
now
my language.
let's try to click on that get started button.
Excuse me?
So
Oh,
now let's try to click on that get started button.
yes. Okay, boom.
There we go.
Let's
So
go.
it's kind of mushed up into that status area, but we do have that sign up text.
Yeah, because did you use that sign up text in the create account? Yeah.
Exactly.
So we can also change that and say create account. Does it change? Yes. Okay. Wow.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
what we want to do, because we have all of this laid out, we need to import a few things up here at the top. So we already have view, we have text, we have safe area view. So now what we want is to import as well scroll view. Okay. And we need, let's see, touchable. Touchable. And this one's not going to be touchable opacity, actually. It's going to be touchable without feedback. So there's actually a bunch of different touchables that we can use. Well, I don't want to say a bunch. There's like a few. So we have touchable opacity, we have touchable without feedback, and then we have like touchable highlight, which I like the touchable highlight one, to be honest. It kind of highlights the entire background. All right, then we want text input, right? We need to be able to log in. And then I think that's about it.
Awesome.
Okay. And then let's also import that button that we created. So we'll import button from 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, yeah.
4,
Button.
5 question mark, I think. Components.
Well, we'll see soon enough if that.
We'll get the errors.
We'll get the errors.
All right, and then import, of course, style from. We will need to create. All right, there we go, guys. Now, all right, we have everything that we need. We have all of our different components. We have our button, the custom button we created, and we have the style, even though we haven't created that file yet. Okay, so inside of our function component here, we first, of course, need to get our props, right? And we'll create a const, and this is again going to be our navigation. So especially while setting up your React Native app, it's going to be a lot of the same patterns. But every page that you want to navigate away from, any page that you want to have a button that leads to another page, you'll have to actually utilize this navigation from the props. Now let's create a bunch of custom hooks. So we're gonna need first name. So we'll say set first name.
Ooh.
We'll say
Use date. Let me import that for you at the top. Okay.
There we go, perfect. And then this one's gonna be an empty string.
As a default value. Okay, cool. What else do we need?
We're gonna need first name, we're gonna need last name, we're gonna need email. So set email. and we'll need password, set password, and then Jessy's changing first name to last name for that second line there.
Yep.
All right, so we have first name, set first name, and then so forth, right? All of these are going to be just empty strings to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we can get rid of this view here.
Yeah.
Right. Because the first thing that we want to do with pretty much most of our pages is make sure that we have a safe area view. We want to make sure that we're not going to intertwine with the iOS status area.
Yes. Scroll view.
Yeah, next thing we want is scroll view. Even if you don't think you're going to have enough content to actually need a scroll view or actually expand past, you know, most people's screens, it's still good to have because you never really know how small someone's screen is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people are still using like iPhone 5s. So
true. That is true.
Then we're gonna have a view here. So we're gonna have, well, the title of our screen. I mean, this is gonna be pretty much similar to setting up our login page. So we're gonna say title or text, or rather, and this one's gonna be create your account.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now let's create a view under this. And this is gonna store our labels and our input fields. Right, so let's go ahead and create a text, and this one's going to be first name. And then we're going to go ahead and say, what do we want here? What was that component called? Text input. Right, so we need text input, self-closing, and we're going to say value equals that that variable, the first name variable. Okay, guys, and then we're going to set the placeholder so we know what to type in here. And this one's going to be first name. Or whatever you want, right? It could be John Smith. Oh, wait. First name, so we only need John. There we go. All right. And then we're going to say style equals
style
dot text input style. Okay, now we haven't created the style page yet, but it's going to be a lot of the same stuff.
Okay, so can we also, this view or with the import, can we also steal that from the login? Or
I mean, we'll just copy everything over.
Okay.
Because I think it's best to kind of keep everything pretty local, kind of like whenever you use like CSS modules and stuff, keep everything pretty local, especially when it comes to React Native.
Right.
So for this view, we'll say style.set margin.
Ooh.
Voila. Okay.
Yes.
What else do we need here? So the safe area, we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're going to say style equals style.container. Okay. And our scroll view. Remember, guys, this one acts a little bit weird. So we're going to say style or content container style, right? And this one's going to be
main view.
Main view.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, by the way, Tanner, I'm wondering about this prop. Like, why does it have this specific name? Because I don't remember you using this one, right? Or am I asking a weird question?
I think we used it in the login page. We used it in one page. Yeah, so the scroll views are just a little bit weird sometimes. You can apply direct style on them, but just, you know, because it's just in general a strange type of component. So you have to say content container style, and it's pretty much going to force it to take whatever style you pass into it.
Right. Yeah, because we are using it in login as well, indeed. And okay, let's go to the next view. What kind of style does it need?
So that one, we don't really need a style. I think we're good there. And then this text, we're going to say style equals style dot text style. Okay. Good. Text input, good. Okay. And what do we want here? We want to update the first name. So we're going to say on change text. And again, right, we need to make sure that we have a callback function here. So we're going to take in the text. I mean, this, by the way, is just an arbitrary label, guys, right? This could be anything. It could be the event object. It could be whatever we want to say.
Yeah.
So text, and then we're going to go ahead and say set first name. We're going to pass in that text. Cool. All right, so that's one text area. We can go ahead and kind of copy this view.
Yeah, so guys, we're going to be needing last name for that, email, and password with those views.
Yep. So we can kind of just go ahead and code all of these out. So this one's going to be set last name. There we go.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good to me.
We're going to set email. And we're also going to set password.
Email. Set email. Password. Yep.
Perfect. There we go. So now we have all of our sections, right, guys? So I'm gonna go ahead and show the title of the page, create your account, text for the first name, text input for the last name, email, and the password. Cool.
All right.
Let's see. So I think all of those are gonna pretty much have the same kind of style, so that's good. And then we're gonna need one more view underneath. So this can actually be in a separate view down here.
Ooh, so that is outside of this view?
Right.
Oh, okay, great. So
this is going to be one of our custom buttons. All right, guys. So we're going to say, well, first let's say for this style equals style dot button view. Okay.
The famous button view.
Is going to be start with disabled, and it's going to be false. Okay. So now what we need to do is go ahead.
Oh, look.
Oh shit. Hey.
Oh, it's there. Hey, let's go. Create your account. Okay, guys, just like we made here.
Oh, so, you know what? I just realized it is sharing the same style file. I don't know why I didn't realize that.
But the style file is not in the same folder, but it just... Did you...
Yeah, it's going back up, so we don't even have it inside of the login folder. It's actually just shared between the off pages. So we're good there.
Smart. Very clean. Because... So guys, here, look. Create your account. Okay, that's what happens here. Ooh, I can even swipe it. Can you see that? So, but first here, first name, last name, email, and password, and the button has start, just like Tanner made here at the bottom. This one here. That looks sick. Ooh. Okay, cool. Let's go. So, what happens now that if I would fill in some data in here, and I would press start, what would happen? What should happen?
So right now we don't have anything really linked up. Eventually we're going to get some Firebase auth kind of linked in so that we can, actually start creating some accounts. And then we want the button to have that navigate prop that we always have, and we want it to push us to the dashboard. But right now we don't have anything linked up yet. So.
Okay. Well, maybe that's also something I know you want to do now, or maybe we should do it later.
Yeah, I think that's going to be after we create the dashboard. So right now, let's go ahead and start adding, well, we have one more piece of text that we're going to add.
Okay.
So let's see. Okay, so let's see. So kind of like we did with our login page, we're going to go under the password field.
Under the password field, wait. The login page. The login page.
Create account page.
Oh no, okay, I was in the right file. Okay, good. Where's the password? Password is here. So under here? Or
So let's go ahead and just like we did with the login page, we had, you know, that kind of like forgot password and policy stuff. So what we want to do is kind of have like the legal agreement type ordeal, right? So, you know, if you're 18, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to say view here, and in the view, well, first we're going to style it. So we're going to say style equals style.section, and I don't think we've created this one yet, so we'll have to go back and create that. And then we're going to say, it needs to be capital, so capital text, there we go. And this is going to be, I certify that I am 18 years of age or older, right?
Yes.
And I agree to the, okay. And we'll leave it there because what we're going to do is highlight some of the other text to be blue. Okay, so this is still going to be inside of the same text field or text area. We're going to go ahead and create a touchable without feedback. Touchable without feedback. And in it, we're going to have kind of like a secondary text field. So let's give it a style. We're going to say style equals, and let's see. So we already have a bunch of different text styles so far. So we'll say style equals link style 2. That works.
Mm-hmm. For
right?
sure.
And this one's going to be user agreement. Okay.
Yeah. So what does this component actually do? Touchable without feedback.
So it would allow us to kind of create those custom style buttons or custom style links without having to use the default React Native button component that we can't style, but also without having, you know, too much visual feedback, right? So we have the touchable opacity, which, you know, we can change the opacity to 2, but then we also have touchable highlight, which would basically have like some sort of background that we can assign. The touchable without feedback is usually used for like links. So in this particular example, we're saying halfway through this paragraph, user agreement, it's going to be blue text. You're going to, you know, that implies that you can click on it to take you to whatever user agreement, you know, maybe it's a PDF, I don't know.
That's
some
cool.
sort of website. So it'll be a link. You don't really need a feedback there. So.
Okay, cool. That's explained. Thank you for that explanation. Okay, let's keep going. User agreement. What else?
And then we're going to say and let's copy this touchable, right? And we're going to change this one. Everything is going to be the same, but we're going to change it to privacy policy. There we go. How do you spell policy?
Like that, for sure.
All right. That's pretty much it for this section. Now what we want to do is go back to the style.js inside of our auth folder.
Mm-hmm. Auth folder.
So auth pages, style.cs.
This one.
I mean style.js.
Wait, which one did you say?
There.
This one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That one. Perfect. So let's see. So we have text style up here on line 17. Right? So kind of just to be a little more direct and keep everything together, we have text style 1, text style. So we're going to add text style 2 here. Okay. This one is going to be flex 1. We're going to go ahead and set the font size. We're going to set it to, again, RF value, right, guys? And we're going to say 15. Let's set the color to colors.medium gray. Now this is going to be that entire text area that we just added. So we want it to be, wait, what is this? Why does it keep doing that?
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So this is going to be kind of like that, you know, disclaimer text or small print or whatever you want to say. It's usually some sort of smaller light gray. So that's how we're going to see that. And okay. So now we want to add the link style too. And where did we have the link style before?
Here, below.
So we have link style at the bottom. Let's just copy that. And this is going to be the second iteration. And we're going to just make it a little bit bigger than the last one. And I think that's about it. That should be good.
Awesome.
Okay. And then, if you guys remember, we created a section as well. So we're going to say section here. And this is going to be a margin top of 20 with a flex direction. What? Of row. Right? Because by default, we're already in column with React Native, so we want to change it to row. At this point, we should get the text showing up, and we shouldn't have any errors. So let's see.
Oh,
there we go.
There we go. Okay,
Perfect.
we need some spaces,
those
but
touchables are blue.
yeah, but we need some spaces. But other than that, it works. Okay, and the links. Okay, they don't have the. I thought they might have the hover, but other than that,
gonna have the feedback because we said touchable without feedback.
So
there's just gonna be immediate links to whatever you would link them to. But yeah, we can add some. So let's go back to create here. We can add some like spacing there. So the overall is called style section, and then let's see.
Can we just give it the space?
Oh, those spacings, yeah, definitely.
Boom.
Definitely. But I forgot. Wait, is it right here? Yes, I forgot to say. This is gonna equal style dot text style 2. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There we go. So now we get that gray text.
Yes.
It's a little spaced away from the input as well, and it just in general looks how you would expect. So it looks pretty nice. It looks pretty clean. Okay. Cool. So what's next?
This looks really clean. Like this component is complete, right? This created account component. Or do you need to add something else to it?
No, I think that it looks good, man. It's clean. It pretty much is finished for as far as this one goes, right? So later, we're gonna start kind of implementing the Firebase authentication as well. Right now, we could just basically send it all the way over to the home page once we start creating the dashboard, just so we can get everything built out before starting to implement, authentication and Redux and all that stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can go ahead and add the dashboard to the Stack Navigator.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that as a last part. Okay, because yeah. Okay. The Stack Navigator. So root navigation. Okay.
Yep. So guys, at the top here, and again, just like always, we haven't really created this file yet, but we're gonna say dashboard over here. Dashboard, and we're gonna say from, and we're gonna grab this from the screens, and we're gonna have a home section. Okay. Now, for now, we can just comment this out, and then we'll come down here, copy this stack, paste that in, change this to the name of dashboard, and this one as well. Wait, is that what I called it? Yes.
Dashboard. Yeah, that's what you called it.
There we go. All right, and then comment that line out as well. So this is gonna kind of be a save spot, kind of a clean close, right? So we have our login page, we have our sign up page, we have everything ready to get into the app, and then we're gonna start building out the dashboard, the authentication, and everything else, and actually viewing the cryptos and their pages and their graphs and all that cool stuff.
Yeah, amazing. So I think we're gonna be, this is what we're gonna be ending with, right, Tanner? So I think this is it for today, guys. I hope you really liked it. Please smash that like button if you like, and of course, if you're interested in joining our Full Stack Mastery Bootcamp, okay, our 8-month online, really cool, fun bootcamp, okay, whereby we teach you how to become a full stack developer. Please click the link below in the description to book a session with us, okay? And I'll see you there. And other than that, thank you so much today for Tanner for doing this with me. It was super fun, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
All right. Bye.